going to call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. I will now recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Can I have everyone please stand and remove their caps? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Miss Amy, can you do a roll call?
Absolutely. Trustee Bosker?
Here.
Trustee Byler?
Absent.
Trustee Hill?
Present.
Trustee Manning?
Here.
Board Chair Miskowitz?
Present.
Vice Chair Oldenburg?
Here.
Trustee Ramsey?
Here.
We have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. Public comment. Public comment at this time on the agenda for individuals to comment on items that are not on today's agenda. These comments must be about public matters and cannot include any private matters. We will ask the individuals to try to keep their comments to 3 minutes. By law, the district cannot take any action on any matters discussed during this portion of our minute until such time as the matter is specifically noted on the agenda and the public has been allowed the opportunity to comment. In addition, school policy 1420 states in part, the board shall not take any actions on any matter discussed in the public comment section at this time. Do we have any public comments? Moving on to consent agenda, item 3. To expedite business, the board approves the use of the consent agenda, which includes these items are considered to be routine in nature. The consent agenda will appear on the regular agenda following the approved minutes and previous minutes. Any items that appear on the consent agenda may be removed by a member of the board. Any board member who wishes to remove an item on the consent agenda must give advance notice in a timely manner to the administration. Remaining items will be voted on by a single motion. This approved motion will be recorded in minutes, including a listing of all items appearing on the consent agenda. Please note that agenda item 3G will require a separate vote from trustees. So the chair solicits a motion for agenda item 3A through F. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda,
Motion to approve the consent agenda,
A through F.
A through F.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Public discussion? Board discussion?
Oh, couple things. So,
Ms. Tammy, can you please let the record reflect that Mr. Byler is here at 6:04, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Sorry. I didn't want you to be marked unexcused absence.
better late than never.
That's right. Okay, Mr. Byler, we're on the consent agenda. We made a motion to approve 3A through F, and Mr. Oldenburg has the floor with a question.
Oh, sorry.
you're
I
good.
do have some questions, but if anyone else does, go ahead. I'm trying to figure it out.
So A through F, we're asking questions
Yeah.
about claims too?
Payroll claims, everything
Yeah,
is like the
I have-
elementary. That's the only thing we're not asking
Okay.
at this time.
They're the same question.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like when I look at both claims, it's all
Yeah.
identical. I can't find any difference. Do you
There
guys?
isn't,
Yeah, I didn't
it's
think
just
so.
the motion has to be made so
Okay.
that the trout
So
creek.
I have a couple questions. So the admin course fees for 3,167, what were those for?
Those are my two issues.
Okay, perfect. So that's for Mr. Ramsey. And then, what is M&O Johnson's Unit 4 for $513. What's that mean? M&O Johnson's.
M&O is maintenance and operations,
Okay, so just fixing it up.
but then it's housing. So M&O is the basic school supplies you need for cleaning supplies, whatever. And then housing is billed out separately. And there was some grass seed and
Okay.
stuff for the housing. Things are paid for out of the different funds.
And then where it says SLP training,
School
Is that
lunch
his-
program training,
what was that?
school lunch
Oh.
program, the school nutrition program. And one of our cooks went. You
And we
have to
have to-
have a certain amount of hours of training and certification and stuff to make sure you're meeting all of the federal nutritional guidelines.
Perfect. And then Kinder Roundup, it said $560. I was just wondering, what do we do to pay $560 for Kinder Roundup?
That's an ad in the ledger.
That's
That
one ad.
big and then.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Okay,
paper, big color,
Ooh.
advertising is very expensive.
Is that the same, that $500 fee for trustee elections? Is that
Yes.
advertising? Well, that would be Sanders County, I
It was
guess.
all wrapped up together, so probably the total was $560 for the trustee notice, the kindergarten roundup notice.
Well, this was this was to Sanders County. And it just says trustee elections.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were still talking about the Sanders County ledger.
Sorry, no,
So
this is
Sanders
county,
County,
it's
that is our election fees for the trustee elections. Because we did not have to have an election and do all the mailings and all that, it was only $500 instead of the few thousand.
Oh, okay, so that's just a charge that came in now from,
Yes,
it's not related to the vacancies that we just posted.
no,
Okay,
no.
Would there be a fee if the superintendent of schools appoint trustees to our board?
I don't think so.
on the payroll side, this might be more appropriate for me to come in and ask you. I was having a tough time understanding I think it was the May payroll was substantially more than other months.
Correct, and I did see that, I watched that video from that June board meeting that I was not at, I was over at Massapequa at my trainings. And did note that you had that question. That is when all of coaching stipends, class advisor stipends, the club stipends are paid out, so it makes that May itself a bit bigger.
They're
Quite
paid
a
out
bit
for the
bigger.
summer.
Pardon?
They're paid out for the summer.
That is for their stipends that they get paid for being a class
Oh,
advisor for the
gotcha,
years.
okay.
Because the June payroll was separate, the July was separate, but May, all of those bonus pieces were included in the May payroll.
That makes sense.
So that would've been tracking baseball coaches, it would've been all the advisors, the club advisors,
Appreciate it.
yes.
Deborah, can you see the table?
I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm in spotty cell service, but I think I'm okay.
Thank you.
So on the student activity reports, there's that page 3, the check register, was that supposed to be included on there?
I generally always include the check register on the student activity report to show what checks were written
Okay,
for the month,
gotcha.
so yes.
And then could you help interpret, so we're back in the black, looks like took gate receipt and paid rep, so everything's in the black.
Yes.
How do
So
we
do a
interpret that?
transfer.
Do we interpret that we had adequate funding for refs last year, or was there?
Yes. So Gate was able to cover all of the referees for basketball season and baseball season. The district covered referees for football and volleyball season. But that does then bring the Gate down to minimal.
So let me ask it a different way. If we had the same model next year with fees and how entrance fees and things like that, you think we would be, we would be able to fully fund referees and costs?
I would say more of the referee costs would have to then come out of general funds from the district side. Gate will not support
Right.
referees.
Okay.
We don't bring enough in from Gate to support the cost of the referees.
Thank you.
Any other questions at this time? Okay, Miss Tammy, can we call for a vote, please? All, a hand vote,
Okay, show of hands.
all in favor?
All in favor, motion carries.
Can I get a motion to approve the item 3, a consent agenda, item G, approval of elementary claims with the Trout Creek sustaining?
I make a motion to approve elementary claims 3G.
I second it.
Any public discussion? Any board discussion? Okay, a hand roll call vote, a show of hands. Oh, I don't know why I'm raising my hand, I already said it.
looking at you.
Motion carries with Trout Creek trustees abstaining.
Okay, moving on to agenda item 4, old business, action items, item A, consider approval of calling for bids for elementary school roofs. Miss Tammy, could you give us more information on this one, please?
So the bid process is anything over $80,000, we do have to bid out. State law is a bit different than school board policy, so we have to follow the board policy. So that is $80,000. You have to post a bid, public notice for bid calls for 2 weeks, and then do a second public notice, so ads through the paper for an additional 5 days. So that's basically 3 weeks because our paper only comes out once a week. And it's just a very basic notice, but we have to have available to anyone interested in the bids, the specifications of what they are bidding on. So that is where we would need to have the assistance of, what is it, Headwaters Roofing or somewhere.
And will that be for them to give us that, like, Pacific, well, how much, do we know how much that'll cost?
The ads,
No, to have them come and give us that specific, how it's supposed to be.
I believe that is part of what he's already given Mr. Bledsoe. Within that quote, there is a
Very
pretty
specific.
detailed listing of what the quote is covering.
Okay.
And I think that would be sufficient.
And this would be opened up for any local businesses to apply for it too?
Yes. Yes, putting that,
Would this be the same thing we'd have to do if our roof was broken and it had like a hole in it type of thing? We'd literally have to post and get that bid considered?
I think there would be maybe exceptions to certain
Okay.
circumstances, but
Just seems like a long time to have to post it.
yes.
And the policy that she's referring to is 7320, if you wanna look it up.
And I make a motion to consider approval of calling for bids for elementary school roof.
Can I get a second?
My second.
Public discussion? Board discussion?
So I think we should do that. It would be nice to have approved the budget and have a superintendent in place before we actually select a bidder and start moving forward, but I'm comfortable moving forward with the process so long as we don't waste money advertising it, going through the bid process, doing all of that, and then only to learn that, you know, there's time limitations and we end up having to refly it again next summer if that's when the work will actually occur. So I think that's maybe the risk here, because I don't think there's any way we're getting a roof before school starts this year. And I tend to think we're not gonna wanna do a roof during the school year. So it might be smart to table it for now, but I don't know. I guess that's the logic, or what I'm wondering is if that might not be the smart way to handle it, but I could be wrong for sure.
You can put the bids out. It's already I mean, 'cause construction's really busy. So if you put it out, they can put in their contract like I do, because of the rising costs on a yearly basis.
You probably won't honor it if it's a year from now though.
That's exactly right. A lot of those contracts will have a time limitation on them.
So item B is our superintendent search, so can I get a hand or finger raise of how many of you guys want to table this? And we can put it on next month's agenda
Table A.
For next month,
for next month, that way,
we can think a little bit more clearly.
And that'll be $500 for 3 weeks to put it in the paper?
Not that type of
Okay,
thing.
how much is that one?
They generally run roughly $50 a week.
Well, and Tammy, you've done a lot of homework on this. Do you have thoughts on all of that?
I don't know if it would be possible for anybody to do it this summer. I don't know how long the job itself would take once they were able to get started on it.
I think realistically, we're looking at next summer to do the
Right.
actual repairs.
Yeah, you don't know what they're getting into once they open it.
so this might be something that we just table until closer to next summer, so we can timeline, put it on the agenda, have time under our feet to properly do it.
Yeah, and I think we don't wait too long. We get it so there's plenty of contingency time, and so that someone is planning to come in, then they can work with school staff to figure out when the ideal window to do it is, and have all that get on their schedule. So I think sometime late fall would be a good time to have it on the agenda.
So can I have a finger raise of the majority of our board that want to
Late
table?
fall this year, you're talking?
Just make a
Yes.
motion to table it.
We can, but if the majority of us don't, then it's just wasted space. Just your finger. Okay,
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
so sorry.
So
Is
now
this
can I
to
get a
table
motion?
it?
Yes.
This is to take.
It's just a table poll. So, okay, now can I get a motion to table it? Sorry.
I'm making a motion to table it
I second the
until
motion.
next board meeting at least.
I second the motion to table it.
Do we need to vote on that, Tammy?
No.
Okay. Okay, can I, for item 4B, can I get a motion to, or first we're gonna start off with Miss Deborah with number B, consideration and possible action on superintendent search.
Loser?
I hope not.
Do we not?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, the floor is yours, Miss Deborah.
Oh, thank you. You guys probably saw my email communication from earlier today, letting you know that Mr. Ramsey and Miss Branham had expressed an interest in your superintendent position. I didn't have any luck getting a hold of Mr. Hines. Just so you guys know, he submitted his application late, even though I think it has a May date on his cover letter. And then the other thing is that Tracy Clark reached out to me and also indicated that she was still interested in the position. At any rate, I think that given that we're into mid-July right now, and you guys know this just as well as I do, I think that you need to really be thinking about getting somebody in the position that's the best fit for right now. And that's probably for this school year. So, and I think in terms of an expedited process, it depends on
decide that you wanna do, what I would characterize as, potentially short interviews, or if you're prepared to extend an offer to somebody tonight, we can talk about the avenues, that the board wants to take, and then I can, of course, help you out. I also provided you with that link to the different ways that you can, acquire a superintendent's endorsement in this state. And of course, you know, what is to be fully endorsed and classified as a class 3 administrator with superintendent's endorsement. The other one is provisional license. And then of course there's the internship program through the university system.
Well, I'd like to nominate Ramsey right now.
Deborah, did you hear Mr. Byler?
Did he say he wishes to nominate Mr. Ramsey right now? Is that what I
Yes.
heard?
Yep.
Are you making a motion to that effect?
Yes.
If it's okay, if you are. And for clarification, are you making a motion to hire Mr. Ramsey for the position, subject to negotiation? Or, do you want, like we did last time, and I think you guys are fully capable of doing it, I most certainly would help you put a contract together, for the position. So, just for clarification on your motion, I suppose.
What do you think about what we were talking today?
So,
He's looking for a second.
oh, I'll second the motion.
For clarification, would the board, on, to piggyback off of your motion, would you like to have, offer him and go into negotiations with the full
Yes.
terms with Mr.
Yep.
Ramsey?
Yep.
He wants to go into negotiations with Mr. Ramsey's for clarification, Ms. Deborah.
And I think, Amber, from visiting with you earlier, it sounds like that item is already on your agenda, is that correct?
Correct.
For principal. Yeah, for principal, not for this.
Yeah, not,
You guys need to read it. Negotiations with Knoxon Principal Jay Ramsey. It's negotiations with Mr. Ramsey, not just principal. That's just his active position right now. Legally, and I have verified this with all avenues, that because of the wording on the negotiations, we can go into negotiations on anything that the board decided with B.
then do we need a vote for their motion?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we need to what?
Well, first I have to open up the discussion to the public. We got a second.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna, we have them, hold on, Miss Sarah. Do we have public discussion at this time? Do you guys need clarification on what was brought, the motion? Okay, so now I'm opening the discussion to the board.
I think that we are doing what we planned and talked about too early, and it's making me nervous. Because I feel like we haven't got any feedback from the rest of the staff like we did for the other interviews.
Well, I think the first thing is figuring out if there is even a mechanism to go this route. Based on my interpretation of the OPI website, I don't think that there is currently until the principal accreditation or the principal certification is final. I believe that you cannot pursue an internship program until that happens. But I guess I would ask
Well, I don't-
Deborah
I
if
don't
that's
think-
accurate.
Yeah, I don't think that that's correct, and I can check with OPI. There have been people that have a Montana teaching certificate in this state with no principal experience that have, qualified position of the superintendent.
Could that jeopardize accreditation if we don't have a fully qualified or fully certified or working to certification superintendent?
I don't think it would, because if you're working either under an internship or a provisional license, if that meets their accreditation standards. Now, if you wanted to cover your bases, you could extend an offer to Mr. Ramsey, subject to and conditioned upon getting approval from OPI, which probably would not take too awfully long.
Can I ask, why, if we have quality candidates that have been superintendents, I mean, cause in the beginning you wanted to get your accreditation and then be under someone, so I just feel like you have a ton on your plate, and I know you're our end goal, but I don't know, I feel like I would like to allow you to keep doing what you're doing and get it, and then next year.
I understand that concern. You know, in a small school, we all wear many hats, and I've been wearing many hats, you know, as I've been going toward this. When it comes to workload, I think it takes organization, it takes being able to prioritize that workload, being able to delegate, being able to build trust, and be organized. And those are all things that I've done in my career in education. I've gotten very, very good at it. You know, and I also hear questions about burnout. Burnout kind of happens when you don't have the support, or when you don't feel you're in control of things. And I really feel like with the team that we have in place, from the board here to our staff, I feel like that support is there. I think that there are some things that I think we want to accomplish, and I'd like to get started on those. And those are some of the things that I'm going to present in my report to the board.
Isn't it kind of hard to delegate when there's no one to delegate to? You'll be the superintendent and the principal, like,
Right.
who are you delegating to?
Right, and we're
Yourself on Sunday?
we're getting so close to the start of the year. I think what this does is it gives us some time to be able to float a second administrative position later on in the year, when there's more time to look for candidates and look for, you know, we're coming down to the wire with it.
Oh, no, I agree with that, but I also see people on this list that would do an amazing job too, so.
No, did she just want it half-time? Was that my understanding? I read somewhere.
Yes.
That's what I thought. She changed it to just want it
Yes.
half-time.
Yes.
So technically, couldn't we do half-time and half-time where he's having a mentor in-house?
Well, and I think that would be a sort of the
It would
way
still be-
things would go naturally, having
She's
her.
not even superintendent, is she?
She has been.
No, which one are we talking, which?
Yeah,
new
she's
one.
talking about Jackie.
Okay.
She was here for a long time.
She
I was
was.
thinking of that.
Okay, to clarify, we have a motion on the table, and Deborah, I have to ask, if OPI was to say that this could affect our accreditation, is it not true that we could place a interim, to help mentor Mr. Ramsey in his current position, and that would cost a whole lot less than placing a superintendent, even at part-time basis?
Yeah, they do, like I said, they do have, through that internship program, it is a mentorship program. They assign somebody to anybody going through that program as a mentor.
So you have no idea who you're getting to mentor.
So the internship program through the University of Montana They do have good mentors through there. And then OPI, once you're in the mentorship, once you're in the internship program, they give you a provisional license. Once you're admitted to the internship.
I'm sorry, you were taking 8 credits, you have so much on your plate, and I really appreciate it, but I just feel like you would be so much more ahead if you waited 1 more year, and we had somebody that's done this and knows what they're doing for 1 more year, and then go from there. That's my 2 cents.
I wanted to, there's so much. Well, there is. It's a very hard decision to make. We have a amazing administration that wants to step up and take it on. He knows our staff. He knows our community. He knows our board. He is willing to do it. He is not asking too much. It is very hard for me to sit here and look at him in the face and tell him, thank you for doing an awesome job, but I'm not gonna reward you for it.
Well, it's not a
That's
reward. It's
not
not a reward. I'm not trying to punish him. He's so
it
much.
shouldn't be thought of as a reward.
Yeah,
It's not a reward, but I'm just telling you, he has submitted his interest. He has very well expressed his interest, just like everybody else has. And if I look at all of them across the board, he stands out.
He's dedicated.
You guys
to
have
us.
all of the same information I do that is in front of you. I'm just telling you, if you look at it from paper across there, that's what I'm looking at.
Well, I think everyone is saying a similar thing. At least I will speak for myself. I'm a big fan of Mr. Ramsey leading the school into the future. The means by which we get there matters, and doing everything we can do to set that up to be successful. And so I think what we are talking about potentially is whether or not we have an interim superintendent to help provide mentorship to time for, because that's the other, it's diversity of learning under somebody new, right? Someone else, Joel worked closely with Mr. Whitesell, and so having a new superintendent come in is a new person to pick up on their strengths and weaknesses and learn from. And so I think, that could be, that to me, that's the ideal model of working towards Mr. Ramsey become superintendent. Whether or not we have that luxury, I think, and I do truly question whether or not, I'm pretty sure it was black and white language about needing to not only have your administrative principal credentials, but also work under those credentials for a year before you are eligible for the internship program. I'm not a lawyer, I could be wrong, that was my interpretation of reading that. So if we call that option B of hiring Mr. Ramsey directly as superintendent, before I would be comfortable voting on that, I wanna make sure that we would be eligible, that OPI would approve it, that we would remain fully accredited. But in an ideal world, I like the interim superintendent to buy a year for Mr. Ramsey, the mentor.
I've already been in contact with University of Montana about the internship program, and they're just, as soon as, if it becomes final, I just let them know, and I'm in the internship program.
Does anybody have service? We could read the language right now off of OPI.
Can we have 2 half-times to have her here and him working together, since she only wants part-time?
It would be a financial thing, because if, Miss Deborah, could you explain exactly what Ms. Jackie is looking for? I'll let legal handle this.
Yeah, she had indicated, in communications with me that, she can only work part-time, of course, to keep her retirement through TRS. She indicated that she could work basically a 0.5 FTE, and she was looking for $56,000 a year to do that. I told her that the initial salary that was posted was not reposted as such during the second go around. Now, whether or not there's some negotiation there, she also,
What was the salary posted for the full-time?
95 to 110 was.
That's
the
what I thought,
first
Whitesell was making 110,
yeah,
so right there, we're close with, if it's legal, half-time and half-time, having her in-house working with them.
Now, can you, I don't know what all you can relay to in a public meeting, but there's other things that was wanting to be negotiated. Could you dive into that?
yeah, I mean, it's a matter of public record when you're talking about, salary and benefits.
Okay.
So she did ask for full family health insurance, and based upon our discussion last week when we were, or maybe 2 weeks ago, it sounds to me like the district pays, what is it, $950, towards all of the employees' health insurance.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a stipend, that's why.
And you also have to be careful about, there are prohibitions in federal law about providing, they call it highly compensated employees, which is usually your administrative staff, with health insurance benefits that other people don't get. And then, of course, that is entirely up to you guys too, if it's a part-time position. I don't know if you would end up prorating that or what you would do. And then, of course, she asked about the housing and asked about, getting, furniture in there, if in fact the board, was looking at making an offer to her, and I told her I didn't know what was going to happen tonight, and that I would be in touch afterwards.
Yeah, are they furnished?
No.
I do think too that, I don't know if any of you have had communications with her directly. That's a dangerous spot, I think, and I'm not suggesting that any of you have. But it's a little bit of a dangerous spot to begin if people have been engaging in, individual communications with any potential candidate for employment, just FYI.
Oh, one's sitting right here, we talk to him all the time.
I'm talking about negotiating over, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, negotiating.
Potential terms of employment.
She's just reminding us that we're a board of 9, so we cannot negotiate as one. We have to act as a full board to negotiate. Any further discussions on the motion at bay?
Can I make a suggestion before, you guys engage in any further dialogue about this?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think that, you know, each of you brings your own perspective to the table. And I would never tell a trustee how to vote, on any issue. But when you're talking about either, and in this case, supporting somebody in that position, it's pretty important that whoever you put in that position, that they feel like they have the support of the board going forward and starting off.
Well, I guess the other is we flew a position and we have technically 2 applicants. There are 4 people we could be considering with, so I think it is, right. So I do think it's worth a little discussion on if people see a fit with any of the other candidates.
We
Because-
wanna know if we wanna look at the other candidates more.
I mean, yes, I mean, do we wanna make a decision tonight? Do we wanna interview? Do we, I know, I mean, I'm with everybody, we want this to happen fast,
Yeah.
I
but,
want it to happen fast, but I think that we should be following a similar format of our interviews last time, cause we got a lot of community members saying that they were a little upset it happened during work hours, right? They couldn't go and they couldn't talk about how much they loved our community, and I think that,
So you wanna have another mini session like last time?
I don't know, this is a big decision, and I mean,
I think it was a good turnout.
Just to remind everybody, we have an active motion on the
Oh.
table.
I know this is probably irrelevant to some of you guys, but I don't know, I don't really appreciate you put this on it. You worded it exactly how you worded it with this intention in mind. And you guys spoke previously, it feels a little,
Whoa,
Wait,
no ma'am.
that's what
you
he
would,
said.
you literally
Yeah,
said you
but
spoke
that's
to her
not what we
earlier.
discussed whatsoever.
That's
wait,
not
what are we talking
we're
about?
just calmly
And-
talking.
I did not set this, agenda up, just for the record. And I
The
verified.
verbiage actually came from me, and it's the exact verbiage we used when you guys were looking at, and it's what we used previously, consideration and possible action.
I think it's
That
not the
very-
verbiage.
Which one are you talking
It's
about?
them sitting here and saying what we talked about earlier.
Well, to clarify, so everybody knows, Mr. Byler called and asked me what negotiations meant on the agenda, and I told him that Mr. Ramsey had not been negotiated with this year.
For his
Everybody
principal
else in
position.
the
For the
whole school had
Yeah,
been
that's what I
negotiated
thought, it was
with.
just for principal.
And then he asked me, well, what are our options for the superintendent search? And I told him that Miss Silk would inform us of every step upon the way. That's the only words that me and Mr. Byler exchanged.
And again, you guys have wide latitude based upon the way that this agenda item is worded, which is intentional.
so.
And
Can
just,
I ask a procedural question as part of the discussion in motion?
yes ma'am.
And again, I don't know the answer to this, you guys know that I'm here to help you guys any way that I can. Would people be more comfortable if, for example, you had an expedited, and again, this is just me throwing potential options out, having an expedited interview process. I don't think it has to be, an hour interview with, I mean, you could do what you did last time. But if you're going to go through that process, you could even shorten it up where it's more of an informal meeting between, any of those individuals that put in a letter of interest and the board. I don't know if that would help you make a decision or not.
If that's the way the board wanted to go, I think that would be greatly appreciated. That's exactly what we'd be looking for, as expedited a process as possible.
I want to do it fast. I just need more time.
And the only reason why I keep telling you guys we have a motion on the table is just like everything else that we do. We have a motion, we have to take care of that motion before we move on. That's not to say that we have voted in anything. We, as the board, have a motion, we get to discuss it, we get to vote, and if it fails, tabled, or whatever, it comes back up for discussion. The way that Deborah has it wrote on the verbiage on there is that it's not one motion, wham bam, and you're done.
So are we waiting for a vote or is there more
So,
discussion?
Is this possible? Halftime and halftime, or no? Is that unheard of?
You would have to ask.
So I think that's why we need to discuss it more and not just jump the gun. But why don't we just vote?
Well, there was no jumping the gun because you got two other people
But-
that we looked at their paperwork.
There wasn't really time to
So
discuss
that
it, it was
was my
just a,
thing, I've already looked at her, how many times already she was talked about, I mean, the community talked about her a long time ago. So I already made my decision and I brought it up. I'm in here every day and I see the public and I see what he does, and I don't want another white cell over here. And there it is.
none of us had said anything about you not doing a good job. Let's clarify that. We all think Joel is great. We really do.
I
And
appreciate that.
But
you
why
are our
can't we
end
just
game.
get a
So-
principal?
Annie, you're asking for transparency, so it's just like the last time that we give the community time to speak. we give-
Expedited. I just want some either community or staff feedback. I can't say yes or no on this without it. I feel really weird about it.
So do we have enough people that can make a decision on making a vote tonight on the motion on the table?
So we're gonna vote on this,
If
or
you
we're,
think you can,
If you don't, I would suggest you table it.
could we not table it and put another motion to extend the interview process to Miss Jackie and Mr. Ramsey?
Yeah, yes, you could do that.
Okay,
We can
I'm
not
just
vote on this?
She's saying that okay, as the board chair, I'm using whatever little power I might have in directing the board that if you guys think that we do not you're not able to make a,
conscious vote
thank
on
you,
this.
a vote either way, yes or no, then raise a finger and then we'll go on from what we need to.
I already said. Not no on it, just I can't say yes or no.
Is
If
that
you're
the
not
time?
ready to make,
I'm not ready at this moment.
Okay.
Maybe you can get there through a little more discussion and questions, but not at this moment.
that's all I'm asking, I just want an honest opinion.
And because no matter what, a tie means no, right?
A tie means no, and I don't want it to go no, and I want us to do what it, like, everybody at this table knows that this is the most important decision we make as the board sitting here. So if you guys need more information, you need what you need to make the best possible decision, then that is what I will try to give you guys. But there is 7 of us sitting here. And unfortunately, Ms. Ramsey
No.
does not get to vote.
Yeah, so
She
6.
is an open participant. She has her opinions as a rightful trustee, but she does not have a vote. So if we go no, it's a fail. And I don't think anybody here wants to fail.
No.
We want to make the best decision that we have. So I'm asking you as your board chair,
Yeah, how would that work if we had to vote on this, but we
Okay.
were just voting because we wanted? I'm so confused on how this works.
the motion that Mr. Byler said was to offer the position with the OPI wording to make sure that we're all legal. If you're not comfortable with offering that position legal, and Miss Annie has clearly stated that she would rather have the open
We want to-
transparency.
Expedited,
Yes,
double meeting.
but she wants the open transparency, so we're the same as what we were the last interview process. That's the only other two that has been thrown away around. Other than Mr. Eric wants to make sure that we are completely certified, that we're not jeopardizing our accreditation as a school. Am I understanding everything?
Well, and I think the other challenge with Mr. Ramsey is we need to define things a little bit better because there is going to be dominoes that happen if that's the route we go. And so what specifically is the offer? Is it halftime soup, halftime principal, things like that need to be defined here before going into
Well, and that's,
negotiations.
I did clarify with Ms. Silk that if potentially we went through, cause Mr. Ramsey was on already previously on our agenda. I wanted to make sure that we knew what we were talking about. So it is been stated that we can put, if we were to offer, it could be the way the wording is on our agenda. It could be discussed there instead of coming back into a
Isn't
meeting.
that the paper we got last time around?
So you'd wanna
Floating
take,
around? There was like a piece of paper with different
Well,
numbers,
I'm
time,
gonna
full
speak
time.
up here. I think you could do that, irrespective of whether you had anything on the agenda already relating to Mr. Ramsey, just by virtue of the fact that consideration and possible action on your superintendent position allows you a lot of leeway. And again, I would just say this, if you think it's going to be a tie vote or a failed vote, I think it's important for whoever is coming into that position to know being a superintendent is difficult enough, without having the support of his or her board. And again, if that's not where you are tonight, if you feel more comfortable with having, and there might be others, I don't know, Mr. Ramsey and Ms. Branham go through, a half hour to an hour interview with the board, you have the ability to do that.
And honestly, I'm not too worried about that. I believe that Mr. Ramsey knows he has the full support of this board. And I think, again, it comes down to the means by which we get there, and getting the support we need now and setting up for long-term success for Mr. Ramsey is the way I look at this. A question for you, Deborah. If we wanted to go the interim route, if we thought that was the model, let's get someone hired quick, and then work towards the mentorship program or the internship. Thank you. If we did not want to offer to any of the folks that have applied right now, are there means to identify and appoint an interim? Are there folks out there regionally that could be identified to appoint as an interim superintendent?
Possibly. I asked my staff if they knew of any retired administrators, that might be willing, and I didn't get a whole lot of response from anybody. That's not to say that we couldn't double down and see if we could find somebody that might be willing to step in that's retired but yet still certified in the state. And I guess for the position that's open, and understand that when you're talking about an interim position, it's typically, to use the words interim or 1 year, in essence, basically means the same thing.
Yep, thank you.
And you can even do an interim shorter than that. I don't know if you would want to, but people certainly could.
It might be a dream. We don't need you anymore, we're fine.
so can we just table the motion until we have 2 interviews?
Deborah, can I just call, since we have a motion on the table, can we just rescind that motion and then make another motion to do the interview expedited interview, if that's what the majority of the board wants? Would that be better?
Yeah, you can do that. Like I said, you can be as formal or informal at your board meetings. The parliamentary procedure is intended to assist you in your meetings, not obstruct them. So, yeah, you could do a motion to rescind. You could even ask that motion be tabled, either one, if that's the, again, majority will of the board.
And Mr. Beigler, out of all respect,
I
can
think
we,
that's fine.
okay, thank you.
Yes.
Let me give you one thought. I think, in my mind, discussing all of the motion was made specific to an individual. Part of arriving at what, and the open discussion on that topic includes talking about all the options that we have, and it is this our favorite option. So Deborah, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we're out of bounds to talk about anything pertaining to the direction that we wanna go under the current motion.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, the motion is to offer a position to Mr. Ramsey, so your comments should be germane to that motion at hand.
Okay.
And I think there's some flexibility, but what I wouldn't want if there is that motion, and there is, to use that as an opportunity to start talking potentially about other candidates.
So, I would like to, if I'm listening to everybody correctly, I'd like to have Mr. Beigler rescind his motion, and then we can put a motion to discuss superintendent search. That leaves our things open, and then we can discuss with the public and the board again of what we would like to do with the superintendent search. So rescind your motion.
Okay, I'll rescind my motion for the superintendent search with Mr. Ramsey.
I'll rescind my second.
Okay,
So can we stay?
and make a
So-
motion to discuss the superintendent search. It's broad.
I did say that.
Okay.
You don't need a motion to discuss the
Yes.
superintendent search, it's already on your agenda.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to ask the public for their discussion at this point.
Go on, Charlie.
Okay, now I gotta think about what I was gonna say here. I feel like we're a month into school. Joel's been kind of digging the trenches, starting our school year out, planning things already. I feel like if we did bring in another superintendent, they're kind of a sitting duck at this point in time. What are they gonna really do? That's just my opinion.
Anybody else from the public?
I liked what Cass and Annie and Eric mentioned about like, this is kind of a sudden put on the spot thing to vote on as far as offering it to Ramsey right now. And a little more thought needs to go into it, but expedited, obviously. And you guys might come to the conclusion that Ramsey's your guy, but it seems like some people are taken a little aback, and I don't think that's a good way to go into such a big decision.
Can you state your name for, I forgot to tell you guys, please state your name for the video, please.
Carly Yoder.
Thank you.
We still talking?
Yes, please.
Oh, Courtney Boss.
Thank you. Okay, and board discussion.
So did we not, 2 board meetings or 3 board meetings ago, have this discussion with Mr. Ramsey?
Yes and no, we did, but because we opened it back up, we have to cross our T's and dot our I's. So that's where we're at.
I think he was also waiting on information from school stuff, right?
So nobody throw anything at me, because I truly do believe that the interim model with a deliberate goal of mentorship for Mr. Ramsey and working towards that and getting into the internship program is in the best interest of the kids in the school. A challenge I have is I would personally at this time not advocate for interviewing any of the other applicants, which is why I asked the question about if we wanted to pursue the internship model, the interim model, would there be a means to do that quickly? I just thought I'd throw that out there to probably speed up the discussion, cause I'm guessing some folks could identify some things where they see it differently than me, so.
Didn't you just say you don't wanna talk to the other two?
That are,
It's not-
the current applicants, I don't see a strong fit for our school.
That's his opinion,
So
he's voicing it, that's.
So, but I do like the model of having an interim superintendent, that's why I'm asking questions about, could we quickly identify a different interim superintendent, potentially even appoint one, that obviously has to be willing, but, that's where my brain's at, just to
So
be,
you
put it
don't-
out there.
Wanna do the interview with the other ones?
That's, after reviewing the applications, yeah, that's my thought, but.
And remember, we don't have a motion on the table, so
We're just
open-
discussing.
We're just discussing.
It's good to
Just chatting.
figure out how everybody's feeling, so we can all come together, 'cause that's the great thing about having a board with a lot of different.
Well, we talked about this a
People.
couple weeks ago, having an interim and for him, now all of a sudden it's like, no! I don't know.
No, that's what I would like to see personally.
Well, and that's why
Well,
the,
wouldn't this technically kind of be an intern if we got one of these here?
It would,
No, it
or
wouldn't?
could be. Actually, both of them would be. They're both retired, and they would be short term. But so effectively, like Deborah said, whether we call it 1 year or
Can we put a
interim.
stipulation in there, being the school board, that you get your part-time, if, I'm just using this as an example. Sally gets her part-time, and she's the super, but she's also the intern for,
So he was talking about a mentorship.
they can
or
ask for
an
furniture,
interim.
we can ask for something.
he asked you a question.
Oh, sorry. What's the difference what he was talking about earlier? Was that?
So that would be a
interim or
means
mentorship?
by which he would take over superintendent responsibilities effective
No.
immediately.
No, where he was talking about a mentorship or.
That's the internship where functionally he's the superintendent. But it's through an internship program where he has a mentor.
Like on the phone, away from here.
No, they become.
Oh, they become
they
in,
become-
like daily or weekly or monthly
So
or?
what's the?
we'd set
What's
up a
that?
schedule.
What's the progress of doing that?
We're not,
Some people are
there's,
comfortable with it.
there's questions about certification. It could, the way we're interpreting what's been sent to us, there is a question about certification. It could jeopardize the certification is what, and Eric asked.
Well, there's an attorney right there.
But
She wasn't for sure.
Is that the issue that's before the board, or is there a
so I'm just.
comfort level? Because the only one, and listen, I wish I was there with you guys and I'm not, but, as I've told you, I know of superintendents that had a teaching degree that were endorsed as a superintendent through OPI now. You never know, sometimes when the Office of Public Instruction switches leadership, I would hope that they would not change course.
And that's.
We could easily find out tomorrow if that's the case. I just know that I've dealt with it a number of times.
And I don't think that's my hangup, because I believe we could make a motion to offer to Mr. Ramsey contingent on eligibility without jeopardizing accreditation or anything like that to the internship program.
Correct.
So that's not hanging me up. What's hanging me up is I believe that the path to the most successful path for the school, but in setting Mr. Ramsey up for less stress and a more, I don't want to say easier, but an easier path to success in getting where he wants to be, I think, is with a year more of mentoring through an interim superintendent, as opposed to jumping straight to, because either way,
But
then
he's
next year,
already talked to that.
because then next year we would have to still look at doing an internship program, because he wouldn't yet have full superintendent credentials.
But he's already said he's talked to these people already about coming out here. And he already said they would come here. So if we did that,
You're saying we'd have to do this process that we're doing now twice?
Yes, ma'am.
What process?
This.
Generally, the superintendent,
Without interviewing anybody else.
okay,
I
generally,
would like to interview people
I know you said you don't want to, I would like to interview more people.
No, that more throws me off. What are you talking about, more people?
These, the people that we
He was
have
saying
that
he didn't want
submitted.
to
Oh,
interview
okay,
them,
thank
and
you.
she's saying she wants to.
She did not hear anything back from, Mr. Hines.
No,
So,
not as of the meeting, I have not.
But that's only been like,
So
what, a
it's-
couple hours? 5 hours?
So it's
yeah.
just these
So
two
that's
applications,
still,
right?
That's still an unknown right
wants to
now.
be
Oh, she does?
Tracy still wants to be in consideration.
Yes. So
But-
technically,
Oh.
there'd be 4. But
Just-
we've already interviewed Tracy,
Yeah.
so she wouldn't have to drive back up and go through the interview process again. That would already.
And Cass, just for the record, I'm a big fan of interviews, full and transparent. It's just the applications that I reviewed, I don't see as the right fit for our school. So it's not that I don't want interviews, it's just the
Okay.
options we have, I'm not.
No, that's fine, it's kinda hard to just read what's written on this paper and decide they're not the fit.
Okay, Annie, and to clarify, I want to give you, what I know. The superintendent does an evaluation every January, February, and if their contract is not extended, they have to do that evaluation process, so if we did, that's why everybody's saying that we would have to go back through this, cause if we do an interim, they're only for that one school year, and then you have to, cause they're placed as an emergency basis only.
I think
So you
what I was confused about is when we were talking about him getting his certification, will he be done by next year to be the super? Or do we have to redo
So-
whatever certification?
I believe by next year you'd probably
Right?
have things to have provisional, whether that was internship
Provisional?
or not.
Okay.
But I still think an
As I
internship would probably be a
understand
good route.
Yeah.
As I understand it, once I'm in the internship program, I am provisionally licensed.
So you're just saying we
Yeah, I
have to
think
do
that's
it in-
one means to
Okay.
have a provisional license.
We should.
Yeah, because the other is not having to do an internship, but you are close enough. You had all of your principal certifications and you were working towards superintendent, then I think you could have a provisional without doing the internship program which I like the internship program idea.
Well,
but-
I do.
Yeah,
I wasn't asking about the.
Oh, I just wanted to make
the
sure I-
certification.
You were just saying
No,
we have to redo it each year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
we
I
do our
never
super-
agreed with giving them like when
Yeah, no,
the
no,
last
no,
super
no.
got 2 years or 3 years at a time. I was
Well,
like,
that's part of negotiations.
Yeah.
That we're not there yet.
I think you should do a straw man to see who is
Yeah.
interested in interviewing the applicants.
Okay, so as our vice chair has recommended, let's do explain please.
what would we do if you didn't interview them? Go back to the
That-
applications?
He's asking if there's another route to get like an interim super, so maybe
Oh, yeah,
Deborah
okay.
could look into
So this
that.
is just an unofficial checking the
Okay,
pulse on how
okay,
many,
so what
how
we're
many board
talking
members would
about,
like to
like-
interview the existing candidates versus.
Who
not.
wants to interview the existing candidates
Yes.
versus?
Yep, the applications
Doing
that we have
the
in front of us right now.
Yeah.
Just
Just
possibly
Yep.
the other. What's his name?
Chris Hines,
I thought that's why we took the whole thing off.
Conroe, Texas.
Got
Okay,
it.
no.
But he's been in Morrison.
No,
Are you sure?
I'm 100%
Oh,
sure.
I thought it said something about him. Maybe it was the other one I was reading. Okay, so 4. But only 3 that we'd be interviewing.
Yes, Miss Tracy has already interviewed. She has expressed that she is still interested in Knoxon, so there would be 4.
Well,
If you wanted to do the interview process,
And I think it remains to be seen, we don't have to interview all of them. Like, the board gets to decide, here's who we have in front of us, do we wanna
So we can
offer
decide who we
interviews?
wanna interview.
Right.
Oh.
That is correct.
but he wants a straw poll, if you,
Yeah.
to feel the temperature if there is a need for interviewing the candidates that are in front of you.
Yeah, and remember too, when, Mr. Meppen was there, and the board extended an offer to him, that was in essence a 1-year or interim position.
Yeah.
And again, we could go out and double our efforts to see if there's somebody in your area that might be willing to step in, but you're still gonna have to go through a process, to decide
Should we make a motion to beg Mr. Mepham to reconsider?
Please.
Can I just ask, or maybe it can be rhetorical?
Actually,
Or comment?
per policy that we're trying to really stick to, I will refrain from having back and forth.
So you can't say anything back and she
I
can't.
thought they were allowed to comment on
They
every.
comment when we have a motion,
Got it.
I ask them for their discussion, then it goes to the board. And then when it comes to the board, then we're, sorry. We're trying to play by all
All good.
rules.
Well, I think
It's something new that we'll all have
if
to
we
get
ask for
used to.
applications and we aren't just gonna give it to Mr. Ramsey, then we need to look at the applications we got.
He asked, what did you put, how did you put it, straw poll?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I would just like to get the temperature. We have 4 people potentially to consider. I would like to get the temperature on how the board feels about interviewing. If there's more than one person that they think it's worth interviewing,
Oh,
because I
or,
think that'll help us start refining the scope of the discussion.
and Mr. Ramsey is included in these interviews,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I say
finger
we
up
interview
for
Mr. Ramsey
interviews.
and interview,
All you have to do is
Oh.
put a finger up if you want to interview. He's trying to read the temperature.
Interview the Yeah.
Current candidates that we have in our red packet.
and then we'll choose which ones we want to interview.
Correct.
Yeah, this is just purely informational. It's not an official vote anyway.
I seen 3 fingers.
3 to 3. 3 of 6, I mean.
Well, no, she can make, if she would like to interview, she can. She just can't vote. So she is clearly in the discussion on all aspects. Just she has to refrain from voting. So it's 3 against 4.
Turn the air conditioner on.
Yeah.
Getting a little- Temperature's a little hot in here, guys.
That's why I brought my fan.
Pass it over here for every 5 minutes.
Are you guys listening to my fan?
Alright, so can we just,
This is a unique situation for
Yeah,
everybody
it is.
sitting at the board, because I don't think none of us has went through this before, so.
You've done it, haven't you?
We went
like
through different,
Mm.
we had 8 candidates come to us and it was all 8 candidates.
but again, like last time, I'm glad this time we're looking at staff, community, parents, and board's opinions. I'm not gonna,
We did that last
Yeah,
time.
But we did, I
Well-
feel like we didn't get the same
yeah,
background,
no,
like
Not at
from
all.
workers and coworkers.
What was Deborah saying?
I was just gonna say, the distinction here is that the process was started late, obviously because of the departure of your current superintendent, and the dynamics are different. We're not talking about doing a superintendent search in mid-January and February or March when they're typically done, so.
So there's no motion on the board, we're just chit-chatting.
Yes, ma'am. It's
So-
open for discussion.
Eric, can you explain to me exactly what it would look like with your idea? Because I feel like why did we do all this if we could, I'm a little confused. If we're not gonna interview these, we're just gonna get an intern to like pull it off of the MTBSA and then they're gonna come in? Is there like a list of interns just to choose from?
Well, that's what I'm not clear on. I've heard that there are some regional retired superintendents that are willing to serve in an interim capacity that may not have applied for the position, which is why I'm asking the question.
No, I'm just trying to, we're
Yeah.
just, we're out of time.
Right. And if that were the case, I would be very curious to see if we collectively thought any of them would be a good fit for our situation in our school.
And I don't know if we would have, from what I've gathered, is that it's kind of, if they're available and they can do it. I don't know if we would have a list of five of them in front of us and we pick who we think, or would it be somebody that they will do it? So I'm not 100% sure on that one either, so.
I'm 100% sure we're gonna have the most board meetings ever. I make a motion that we interview Miss Branham and Mr. Ramsey.
Second.
We gotta get moving on this, guys.
Okay, so now that we have a motion on the table, now it's open to public discussion. State your name,
My
please.
name is
Thank you.
Carly Yoder, and I was just gonna voice my thoughts. We offered it to the Jim Metham guy, knowing that it was only gonna be for the year. Jackie's really no different, and she was the superintendent back when I was in high school. I thought she was good, but then again, I was in high school, so, I mean, take that how you want to. But I will say, she hired me to cover her adult ed classes, and the community loved her, I liked her, and I was a rebellious teenager. But she met me on my level, and she called me out when she needed to, and I appreciated her. So with that, it's the same thing as what you offer to the gym guy. You're just doing it for her for the year while Ramsey does his stuff. So it's basically the same thing. I don't know why that is so difficult to see or come to, but that's just my opinion.
Any further public, Mr. Havens?
Matt Havens, I know you guys are sitting here thinking about this, school's less than a month away, right on a month, and it's time crunch. I know everything's under a time crunch. If you're gonna expedite these interviews, Jackie lives close, Joel's right there.
48 hours from now.
Yeah, we need to get it done so we can get going. My personal thing, I've worked under Jackie before. Worked fine. I haven't worked under Joe, but guess what? As a superintendent. But as a principal, yes. As a principal superintendent, I think you're doing a marvelous job. If you just got him going this year. You want to know somebody who's dedicated to his work? There he is. He gives me the think or the thought process of, Matt, keep coming back. And I think that highly of Joel. There's quite a few of the other teachers who think highly of Joel. But we are in a time crunch, and I understand that too. But yeah, our school would be going in a great direction under Joel. And I understand trying to do two jobs at once is chaotic, but I'm sure you can do it.
Well, if you got it, wouldn't we then look at a principal?
It would be a have to, so we only have to have
Yeah.
a halftime suit, so there would still be the other 0.5.
We, for accreditation, for the numbers of staff members and for
We only
the
need half-time.
number of kids, we need a 0.5 superintendent.
But we've always had full,
0.25,
correct?
Well, Mr. Kaiser was a 0.5 because he was our elementary principal. Mr. Ahanger, I don't remember offhand, and then Mr. Martin was 0.5, and then Mr. Whitesell was 1.1 for his first year, and then he rotated into a 0.5 and a 0.5. So that's the information I do know. But for our accreditation principal, we need a 0.25.
Minimum.
.25 elementary, .25 high school.
No.
No, 0.25.
.25 total?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because that goes
for,
off
for
of,
accreditation
yeah,
purposes.
Yeah.
oh,
It's better.
I thought it was one for each.
no,
And
it goes off of the number of students that we have.
Principal goes off numbers. too.
Yes, and the superintendent goes off of the number of staff members, full-time employment staff members. So, just so that you guys.
Well, I think also that, the agenda needs to be posted right after the meeting's over, so we can get on it Wednesday.
Okay. Any further, sorry, Kyra, any further discussion from the public? Okay, now discussion back into the board.
So, if we come back in here in 48 hours, cause we're only gonna have Joel and that one there, we're gonna be right back to where we're at right now.
We weren't looking for, the difference in,
Because there's only
interviewing,
one,
okay,
two, three, four, five.
Mr. Byler, the difference between doing the interview process, it gives the public, it gives the staff, it gives the board that transparency. Offering Mr. Ramsey, some feel that it closes that, like, we're not
Okay.
looking at all avenues.
So when you look into the audience, I like to be able to look and read them, how they're feeling, because especially like.
That's the difference.
I just don't wanna be right back to this again.
Well, beyond that, we have an obligation for due diligence towards
But I'm
making
all about letting the staff.
Cust
and the
decision.
public come in here.
But it's
I'm all
not
about that.
just about that. I mean, we need to do everything we can do to do as good a job as we can.
But
And
it's
so-
just funny, we've talked about this and the agenda goes out,
And
1, 2, 3, 4 people.
that's their prerogative. We
Yeah.
cannot change everybody. And also
How many viewers we have, come on.
the four, they're not watching us live. It's
We
recorded.
might have a lot of views after.
You might. Okay, so,
The subscriptions.
the 48 hours is the legal ramifications. Mr. Joel might have obligations that he needs to tend to within those 48 hours. Miss Jackie might have obligations, and Miss Deborah might have obligations that prevents her to be here. So the 48 hours is a good jumping start, but we need to be realistic. It might not happen.
72.
I'm just saying, because Deborah will do the same as she did last time. She will reach out to both candidates, and she will find, and then we have to go with them.
But you're gonna get an email. Would you like to be interviewed?
So since the
Your
motion,
interview is, and you
Your,
come.
did you not listen to our lawyer?
What?
And just so you know, Wednesday night, I'm tied up in meetings all day Thursday. So Thursday is possible for me. It's not that you guys couldn't do it on your own.
We could probably do it
And I
online.
could try to be available if you needed me, but
Okay,
I'm being in Polson all day Thursday
okay.
and traveling Thursday night.
Probably best if she is here though. Cause she answers a lot of legal questions.
But are we gonna need those legal questions answered
For
that we've
interviews.
already gotten them answered here now and the last interview process? I feel like, well, pretty.
My only hesitation is when we did the last interview process, when we asked the closed session questions, I would like to have legal there to make sure that we abide by our parameters. That is my only hiccup.
well, I'll kick that off since we have Deborah now, and I'll make her cringe a little bit, but because we have a motion to interview to offer interviews to two specific people, Deborah, is there a way to, and I know what you'll say about keeping it positive, but at the same time, we need to be able to have real discussions on why we may or may not be hesitant to offer an interview or move forward with a particular candidate.
You can't have those discussions in a closed session, not when you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about right now. I wanna open my mouth, but I'm looking for your advice.
If you're asking me if, you can most certainly, number one, I don't think you're asking
I'm not asking to go into a closed session. I'm asking to,
Divulge.
if it's okay to discuss why we may not wanna offer an interview to a candidate.
You can, but I would be careful about interjecting opinions about people's performance or character
Okay.
if you're not sure.
So I got a home run, and this is easy. My concern with one of the candidates is it is an incomplete application, and the most recent job is not listed.
And that is public record.
And just so you guys know, we did not do any background checks at all on Miss Branham because she was not part of the first interview process, so.
Does anyone recall that big, huge thing that happened in Priest River a couple, elections ago?
I don't, cause I don't live there,
Because-
so.
I know that had a big thing to do with that aspect, cause it was in the news.
Yeah, and I don't know if there are rules on applications for, you know, I guess people can choose to put what they want or omit what they want, but for myself, if what Annie's referring to, you know, being willing to be open about it and talk about it is, I think, important.
I would, just caution you here a little bit. First of all, the second go around, we didn't ask people to fill out full applications, and even on the first go around, neither Jim Meppen nor Miss Branham filled out a complete application. Now whether or not they didn't disclose something on the letter of interest and resume, I don't want you guys getting into a situation where you're potentially violating somebody's rights of privacy. If you wanted me to follow up and inquire, I could, but just given your expedited process, understand that I have limited time. As do you guys.
So I think we do the interview and then we do like we did with Ms. Pear and Mr. Mepham, go into the private session for certain questions, correct?
Yeah, cause that's what we did last time, and
So we do it
Deborah
just
was here to guide us to
like
make sure
last
that.
time?
yeah.
Let's
One.
try to shorten it.
Yeah, I think ideally, one challenge that Deborah was saying though is that if we really expedite this, she probably won't have time to complete a background check.
Well,
Or
I
a
won't have
reference
time
check.
to complete a thorough background check because we spend quite a bit of time doing those. I also, I can participate, let's say you guys schedule this for Wednesday evening, and right now you're gonna be looking at scheduling it at any time after 7:29 PM if you do it. Cause you gotta give 48 hours
Thursday.
notice. I will have to participate electronically this week. I just can't make that trip out this week.
Understand.
And I'm more than comfortable at assisting you, via Zoom.
Would you be comfortable having her just here via Zoom?
Absolutely. As long as we had her.
Had someone.
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't know if you preferred her to be.
I would prefer her to be in person, but that also is, like, we're trying to do this, so
Yeah.
I'm cool with her being like on, just as long as we have legal
Okay.
guidance to make sure we do not say the wrong thing, cause one wrong word could cost the district.
So I think by the time we get done and you get this posted, realistically
Thursday, cause right now, 8 o'clock, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
parents
She
are
can't
not
do
gonna wanna be
Thursday.
here. I know, no, yeah, and she can't. She can or can't do Thursday.
I could, hear me out for a minute, cause I have to be in Polson all day Thursday. If I make it back to a point where I had, and it depends on when you schedule the interviews, I would try and do my best, to be on via Zoom. both for the interviews as well as any possible closed sessions, and then assisting the board through the process.
In the interim, and also to expedite things, and so the board fully understands its options. I don't know who it would be on. Deborah, would you be willing to assist, or I don't know what the process is, but I would like to find out 100% that the internship program is a viable option, accreditation's not jeopardized. I think we should just get that answer so that the board really understands our options.
Calls and emails to OPI tomorrow in hopes that somebody in licensure is available, but I most certainly could do that tomorrow for sure.
Okay.
And like I said, I've worked with people in the past and they have approved of it under different administrations, but the rules shouldn't change. But I think we can confirm that, and even if I need to get into contact with Mr. Ramsey, I can do that too. But
That'd be wonderful, thank you.
So, we are looking, we should probably be cautious and do it on Friday. What does everybody's schedule look like?
I am not available at all on Friday,
Okay,
but I can watch the video.
okay.
Are you
I'm not available on Friday.
Okay, but you are available on Thursday, but it has to be
I
later?
could make myself available later in the day on Thursday, yes.
We always
Thursday
get
evening or Monday.
7:30 for Thursday, right? Or is that for Wednesday?
Uh-huh.
Well, first, I mean, I think we're putting the cart out of the horse. Let's decide what we're going to do, and then we will decide how we're gonna do it.
Agree with
Well,
that.
the motion was seconded.
Yeah, the motion
To
is to
interview
interview Jackie
Jackie and
and
Joel.
Mr. Ramsey.
Expedited.
Expedited. So that means we'll come up with 5 questions instead of 12 questions. We won't have a full
Do you
background check.
want my assistance in doing that? I think I would.
Actually, I put out the questions. I give the board an opportunity to come up with their Noxon preferred questions. So, and I will just run that by you so that you're on board with that. But I did get 2 board members' responses. So, right now I have 4 questions.
I wouldn't, and just so you know, you guys can do this the way that you want it. I don't know that I'd have more than about 5 questions.
Okay.
Perfect. So are we doing a vote on that?
Well, one last question. Nobody's interested in interviewing the other applicant.
I would totally be interested in interviewing Chris if it was feasible in a fast way. But since you're saying he lives in
Conroe,
Texas, I don't know how possible that would be. It'd be great to find out, because
The only other option we have is a Zoom call, but I mean, I don't know how good that would be for you guys to get a read off of him, but that is an option we do with Deborah, so. But that's up to you guys.
You want your
We can't pay.
motion on them to.
We did.
We did. He's wondering
he
if,
was just asking.
guess we could just rescind it and add a third one, but then,
But it.
Oh, I'm not advocating for it. I was just
Yeah.
wondering what people thought.
Clarification.
Yeah.
well, I guess,
I mean, if we're
these
gonna-
are the 2 that were in the folder, so these are the 2 I feel like that were really on the table up front.
And if we are wanting to get the staff and community sort of feel aspect like we got last time, it'd be better in person.
So I think we're ready to make a vote on the motion. Miss Tammy, can you please reread for the video the motion at hand?
There's a lot of notes ago, one moment.
Nope, you're fine.
To interview Joel and Jackie.
What day? Friday?
No, we haven't done that yet.
We're just getting the
Trustee Bosker made a motion to interview Jackie Branham and Joel Ramsey. Trustee Manning seconded the motion.
Thank you. So everybody understand what we're voting for? Okay. Miss Tammy, will you please do a voice roll call vote?
Trustee Bosker,
Aye.
Trustee Byler,
Aye.
Trustee Hill,
Aye.
Trustee Manning,
Aye.
Trustee Ramsey,
Aye.
Board Chair Miskowitz.
No.
And Vice Chair Oldenburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I thought she would know.
No. Thank you. So now the next option that we have is we have a motion that's been made. It's all in favor. So now we need to dwindle down the 48 hours, what we need to get in order to pull this off.
Be free Monday.
Yeah, I'm here.
Monday work for anybody?
Monday the 21st?
Anybody?
Are you busy
Deborah?
Friday?
Monday?
I'm going to vote.
Let's go Tuesday.
I know I won't do it Tuesday anymore.
What?
I won't Tuesday. I'll be in Bozeman, so it doesn't matter.
Did we rule out Thursday?
Yeah.
No,
Thursday,
she did
Deborah
not.
is not.
Oh.
She
She's
said she-
later. Friday, she's not available.
I can do Monday.
I can do Thursday evening or Monday. I prefer not to do Thursday evening, but I can do it.
Okay.
I'll just sleep here.
So if we do Thursday, what is the time that you guys are thinking about?
What time is Deborah available on Thursday for?
She said later. She did not give us a specific time.
I will be in Tolson until about 4 o'clock. And then I know that traveling back, there's limited service, but I'll try and accommodate you guys. I'm assuming that, I shouldn't assume anything at this point in time, but, that you would do it later, maybe not at 7 PM, but later in the day, is that
We
correct?
have to do it later. 'Cause
6 is the earliest that I could do it Thursday.
we'd have to do it at
Well, 48 hours is the 16th at whatever
Oh,
time
okay.
we make that.
6:30.
yeah, I'm fine with any time in the evening.
I got 6:30 on the table.
Jim, Thursday, 6:30.
Cass.
Yeah, I can be there.
At 6:30. Miss Ramsey.
Yes.
Eric.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Miss Deborah, are you going to contact the two candidates and ask if they will be available at 6:30 on Thursday the 17th?
Yes, I could do that.
Thank you.
I'm available.
Oh, good, so I don't have to contact you.
No.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I will contact Miss Branham as soon as we're done, if
Okay, thank you.
that's the time.
And now the rest of the board, we have 5 questions. I have asked all of you guys to submit questions that you guys feel are more Noxon. I have 5 questions. 2 of our trustees have got back to me. We can use those 5 questions, or you guys can have until tomorrow to submit your questions.
Probably take one question from each person since.
But nobody responded.
Yeah,
and that's
nobody-
that's
Oh,
what I'm
mine's in
pushing
a draft.
Okay.
Well, the
I'm
other
good.
though, I would hope that you would take a few liberties so that we have a diversity of question that encompasses the roles of the superintendent, and instead of 4 questions about one topic,
Yes.
if that's the way
Yes.
they come
Yeah.
in.
I'd hope not, but I hope we have a little bit different questions for
Okay, so can I ask the board to submit a question that you guys feel that should be asked and try to submit 2? And then that way we don't have all budget questions, all staffing questions, all community questions. I will try to get back and send everybody what
And-
we've come up with.
And you'll run them by
Deborah to make sure that
you
they're
know.
legal people.
Now, can I already did that, by the way. What are we going to do if Mrs. Branham says she
Is
is
unavailable?
can we
Then-
keep going with Joel's interview?
No, we'd have to do them together, so we would have to, Deborah will come up with a time that works for Jackie, and then she will contact, and we'll try to do it again.
Well, I think that's up to the board though.
What'd you say?
It could be up to the board, I
It
mean,
can,
because
but-
we could say we can't delay.
Well, that's what my
We
thought
can,
process.
but then we
Oh, I need
just,
a computer too.
interview one, are you guys okay with interviewing
That's
one?
You didn't get that?
that was my whole
Okay,
hold up, is that I want to get more feedback from other people instead of just
Oh, you want
'Cause
feedback from the audience?
the,
I want the applause.
From people?
the agenda has to be posted within 48 hours, so that's why this has to be.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect.
I personally would advocate for the interview's date is what it is, and
I agree.
we proceed with the candidates that can interview.
Just like most jobs.
Yes, if you can't make it, then usually, I don't know, I mean, I hate to say that, but we're in a sticky spot.
Well, yeah.
Mr. Ramsey, as our administration, will you please post it on our website?
You bet.
And will you be free to stay after so we can get the agenda up and then we can post it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can do the hair and one.
That's fine, you're just gonna have to wait until we get it,
Okay.
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 but thank you.
Just so you guys know. You can send me the hair and one and I'll
I'll have
post
to
it
charge
for
you.
Is
you.
there any way you could
I
email
can
all
do
the
it.
agenda,
Okay.
the agenda post to like the whole bulletin email address?
What? I don't think we can.
I don't have access to that bulletin, you know.
Yeah, that's an office administration, that's Miss
That's
Robin.
right.
Yeah, oh, so nobody else
We
is
don't
allowed to
wanna
use
start a
that.
practice we don't do all the time in special situations.
Okay,
Also-
I think I have everything, so I'm gonna get us back focused on new
We can use that
business.
policy though.
1 second.
Yes,
Wanna
okay.
run? Take a leak.
Yeah, Miss Tammy, can we have a 5-minute recess, please?
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Tammy, I would like to call us back in order at 7:48.
Noted.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to item 5, new business. Item A, consider approval of the side-by-side consulting.
I make a motion that we consider the approval of the side-by-side consulting.
Second.
Public discussion? Okay,
I don't know.
Mr. Ramsey, would you like to?
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, side-by-side consulting was, we covered our literacy professional development for the grant. Side-by-side is, they're out of Libby. They've been involved with our school before. And side-by-side knows that the science of reading and would take our staff through implementation of the science of reading through professional development, help us set up a instructional coach position. Instructional coach is somebody who comes into classrooms in a non-evaluative way to just, they're a coach for teachers. We do have Carrie Cole here who runs side by side. Do you have anything you want to present?
On the spot.
Okay. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. I'm trying to project so you can hear me well. But my name is Carrie Cole with Side by Side Educational Consulting. I'm president, but I have several consultants who work under me. I actually live in Libby, and I've been in Northwest Montana for a number of years. My kids attend public schools in Montana, and so we're very invested in Montana public schools. We've worked under several of these CLSD grants, Comprehensive Literacy School Development Grants. So they're federal grants that are granted to states. This round of federal grants, there were 23 states that were granted. They were very competitive, so it's very exciting that Montana received the grant funding, and then from there, 95% of that funding goes directly to schools who are the most needy schools in the state, and that was also competitive, so not all grants, sub-grants were granted, so it's really exciting that Noxon was, received the grant, so I just want to extend a congratulations for that, because it's a really big deal and it's a significant amount of monies for you to really center your efforts on literacy. So in terms of side by side, we really have insights into not only Montana public education, but I think understanding small rural areas. And we work in small rural areas in many of the districts that we consult in. And we don't just consult in Montana. That's where I prefer to be because that's where I live. But we can consult in other states as well, and other states that have other districts that have similar demographics to what you have in terms of school size and this idea of a pre-K through 12 continuum. So there's a lot to consider here. We can provide the professional development needed, as Mr. Ramsey said, in terms of the science of reading. But I think our purview is not only literacy based, which is really my passion, is really increasing literacy rates for kids so that there are not barriers for kids when they graduate in terms of what their choices are in life. Whether that be to go on to higher education, whether that would be good to go into a trade or go directly into the workforce, that literacy is not a barrier for them. And unfortunately, we know if we look at statistics across the nation, literacy is a barrier for many kids, even kids who graduate. So ensuring that we really use literacy or leverage literacy to ensure that students are able to read at the level they need to read in order to gain information to be literate citizens. And that contributes to our citizenship as a nation as a whole. Again, we have experience with CLSD grants in other districts that have shown success, and by success, we're measuring student achievement. So increases in student achievement year after year after year. We're getting better and better and better and better ensuring our students are able to read and write at the levels that they need to be able to read and write. And I think another advantage that we would have would be experience consulting pre-K through 12. Many consultation services are more elementary based or more secondary based, and we can do everywhere from pre-K through grade 12 and that entire continuum, and really helping staff to have a unified approach to what they want to achieve. And lastly, I would just say that we're really committed to what we would call shared leadership and a collective approach where everyone has a voice in what that's going to be. We're not going to come in just with our own agenda, but really wanting feedback from the staff and feedback from your leadership team in terms of what they're wanting to accomplish. Because literacy, of course, is the goal, but it's bigger than that. It's about the science of learning, how we teach in order to ensure that we increase the amount of content that the children are learning, and also looking at school culture. So that the school culture is positive, that we're ensuring that kids stay motivated and want to stay in school, and that they're engaged with school and wanting to come to school. So what other practices, including the science of reading on top of the science of reading, can we implement to really ensure kids are engaged? And getting staff buy-in and building that collective unified approach so that it doesn't become just a grant effort, but it's really about an effort that continues whether you have grant monies or not, because you have such belief in it. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
So is it, my understanding, it's primarily working with teachers and staff strategy, it's not consultation helping with individual, like with kids, it's more programmatic type consulting?
We do work with kids when we're doing like model lessons, demonstration lessons for teachers. If they want to see a specific strategy in action, then we work with children. But we don't have, the consultation isn't child-based, no, it's more working with adults. So it's two sides. Providing training, but it's bigger than that, because unfortunately the research when you do training just alone is not good in terms of carryover to the classroom. It's a very small percentage gets carried over to the classroom, and that's because this work is hard. It's difficult to incorporate those practices on a daily basis with success. So it's doing the training, but then working side by side with teachers and administration to get those practices into the classrooms. Whether that's observing teachers and giving feedback, providing demonstrations where they can watch, and then we do it side by side together. Doing instructional coaching, and coaching the coach is also something we can do, and coaching the administrator to just get a systems-based approach everybody's in this together, and we're working towards building momentum towards that change effort. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thanks. And so with the 3 potential intervention types, is that what the right terminology associated with the grant with pre-K program, which will be considering next, potentially summer school, potentially the in-home interventions, the side-by-side consulting would potentially help towards all of those, teaching towards all.
Absolutely,
all
your
those
grant, your
types.
grant drives everything. So we would get a copy of your grant, read through everything, and make sure that what we're doing is supporting that grant.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you for driving here.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
And
it's
being
always good to
patient.
be in person when you can, so thanks for the opportunity.
Watch out for the butterflies on the way home.
Well, I'll just tell you, yesterday I did a 10-hour drive, so it's covered in bugs already.
Thank you.
So we haven't seen a contract to cost any of that. How is that information gonna be shared with us?
I don't believe you have, do you have a contract from me yet, or just a
No.
proposal?
Did we get the
Not even a
to them?
proposal.
Yeah, we haven't received a proposal.
You haven't seen the proposal?
No.
I'm gonna go grab it.
Please.
Yeah, can't
Thank
vote
you.
on it without knowing what it is. Unless you wanna recite your proposal to us. Just kidding.
She was
I
giving
probably
it a
be
thought,
pretty close
though.
off the top of my head, but,
No worries.
okay.
And this, Courtney would know, this would be fully funded through the grant?
Yep.
Yeah.
Any schools under the grant are going to be engaging in this type of professional development and consultation support.
This-
Sorry, I have just the one copy of
Just
it.
scoot over towards Vanessa.
I guess I can try and give a high level summary.
There you go.
And
There you go,
for
Cass. You can scoot over
the
now.
cost of the end might change.
TBD, that one?
Yeah, probably.
Just a couple of
No, there's no.
So that's.
It was basically brought up when Courtney was
Grant
going
launch.
over her grant.
Coaching.
Oh, that's
No,
Resource materials.
Courtney basically went over the majority of it during her last spiel.
So are we seeking approval of
Like his
the
thoughts.
first 3 PD activities currently, and then that 4th one is something that would be discussed later? Or is that,
We're discussing to bring her on full year, side-by-side consulting on for 1 year from now. Yes.
so that, the PD activity science of reading training series, is that something we are seeking approval of tonight?
Yes.
So it's under additional training considerations?
Could I make a comment?
Please do.
The OPI opened up an approval process of a list of approved vendors to provide for the schools that were, received grants to provide science of reading training. That list has not yet been released. We do not, no school knows yet which firms, which consulting firms are on that approved list, including myself. I did apply. I have made every list that there's been since 2012. I don't have any reason to think I would not be on that list, but that list is not out. So I would think that really, my understanding was the question was not necessarily the specific work that will be done, but just the question of who your consulting firm would be to be supporting your grant. And then perhaps after that, because I haven't even, this was just a very rough proposal. We're not in contract or anything yet. I I think those logistics would be worked out later in terms of all of the specifics.
So maybe our next meeting, we would approve a specific contract.
Yes.
Okay.
I have not even, we haven't even gone that route yet. It's
So-
just a question of who your consulting firm would be.
Okay, and so to that end, I'm going to make a habit of anything like this, always asking what due diligence we did, and Mrs. Cole just gave a wonderful sales pitch. But are there other entities that do this? Did we consider other entities? How did we arrive?
So
at-
there's really just kind of two in Montana. There's Montana Professional Learning Collaborative and School Services of Montana. Both are similar, but side by side has more experience working with the pre-K-12 students. There's also a better track record of results through side by side in the services that they offer than those other two. So.
Awesome. Thank you. And similar costs.
Yeah, costs are similar.
Anybody else have any more questions? Any further discussions?
So I think we should clarify the motion that this is agreeing to
Consider.
enter into contract negotiations with side by side, and then we would revisit the contract once it's ready for our visitation and vote on that at that time, would be my suggestion.
That was a mouthful. So would you like to reword the motion so Tammy can get the motion for
Yes.
clarification?
Cass made the motion.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Well, no, you're absolutely right, Cass, but Eric's wording was very specific, so that's why I asked you to say that motion to Tammy so she can get that verbatim down for the notes, and then we'll use that motion.
I make a motion that we approve side by side consulting so they can put in a bid. I don't know why, I guess my brain is shot.
Okay, Eric.
2 hours now.
Eric, can you clarify what you wanted the motion to be, please?
Is that okay, Cass?
No, that's
Can I
fine, I
slightly
just
amend
see it, I mean, isn't that what it is? We're worded already?
They don't have the proposal.
Well, I know, but we're not,
So
We're
we
just
don't-
considering
the
it.
next time it's on the
We're not
agenda, it'll say
approving
we're
it.
approving the proposal or we're not, right?
We'll probably be approving a contract or not, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause we're looking at the proposal right now. Next time we would be approving a contract.
I think, no, I wanna see the proposal.
I still feel like
Alright.
what
I
she
didn't-
said would work though,
Yeah, I think so.
wouldn't it? And then we vote either, cause it was seconded.
I don't know, I make
So-
my approval is that we've looked at the proposal and I'm accepting that proposal with the contingency that our next board meeting, we will have an actual contract and we may or may not agree to it.
Yeah, so we just, the wording is so that we don't approve a blank check. So it's agreeing to work with side by side, the contract will come back where we'll actually see the final cost, and then we would approve that contract. Does that make sense?
I just said that.
Yeah, you know, he was just verifying that you guys were on the same page. You're good, Miss Cass, we can do the second. Miss Tammy, did you get all that?
I will watch the video.
Thank you. Okay, can I get
I'm
a,
wondering why this wasn't in, why couldn't we have had this in a highlight to look at before?
it was my
Because,
bad,
Okay,
sorry.
just curious.
Nope, my
I
bad.
don't waste time
I will
looking at it now.
do better. Okay, so Miss Tammy, could we please have a voice roll call, please?
Trustee Bosker,
Yeah.
trustee Byler,
Yes.
trustee Hill,
Aye.
trustee Manning,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey, vice chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
board chair Miskowitz.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Can I get, consider approval of the pre-K program, and also we need to approve the policy 2165. And I sent the policy 2165 to every individual trustee.
Yeah, I just usually
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Right there.
good.
There's the old version and the new version. We need the new version by the legal that has changed. And Miss Courtney, would you like to, or Mr. Joel, one of you explain the pre-K program?
So,
Do we need a motion first?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Make a motion, we consider the approval of pre-K program.
I second. Okay, public discussion, please. Okay, board discussion.
No. Mr. Ramsey was gonna give us information.
yeah, so a few years ago, the Montana cut funding for pre-K in schools. But in 2023, there was House Bill 352 that was passed to help students improve reading proficiency by the end of third grade. And so a classroom-based program for 4-year-olds is one option. The policy explains 2 other options. There's 3 other options. We could do a full day pre-K program. We're looking at doing a half-day pre-K program for 4-year-olds in our area. And we currently have 4 potential 4-year-olds ready to register for it.
Okay. Does everybody have a chance to look at the policy?
So to clarify, we are voting on pre-K program
Yeah.
first, and then we are doing the policy
Yes.
change?
The policy needs to be in effect for the program, so
Okay. So are we doing the policy
Kinda goes
first?
together.
We can do it all together.
we can do it all together unless you guys I think all together is fine.
So, and to clarify, it's not gonna be quite that simple. The clean policy that we have, we still have to make decisions on what's included and not included in it.
I said everybody.
That already has this stuff going.
Yes, sir.
I don't have it all to look at it.
Okay, I printed it off so that I made sure everybody had a copy. But I got the redacted and the new one, and I did make sure that everybody got that.
I probably just didn't say because I already have the whole packet.
I'm sorry. I will learn to do, Mr. Byler, can you send those 2 down here?
So I do think, I mean, we should talk about budget. I think this is challenging from the context of, you know, we haven't seen the budget for next year. And so especially talking about how the program would be funded, I think would be helpful for the board.
So House Bill 352 provides funding for pre-K programs.
So that would be additional, A and B dollars, right?
Yes, yeah.
But there's not extra money beyond that. There is more beyond that.
The grant will also.
Yeah, but that's a separate thing than A and B, that's the
Right.
grant. So this would be funded through a combination of,
We're because it's literacy focused, we'll be able to fund it through the grant.
right, and we would bring in A and B dollars for how many ever
Yeah.
Potential.
pre-K kids were brought in.
And they're rated at a, you know, because they're part-time.
Yep.
You know, they only have 360 hours, they may need something like that.
And this is year 2, so we have the dollars for that position through the grant. We're eligible now because year 1 was the summer, basically.
Right. Well, year 1 extends through September.
Right.
So we do have money to support the pre-K. It is written in there to provide staffing for it if we need it.
Yeah, and sorry, it just makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
Absence of a superintendent, haven't approved next year's budget yet, and we are a relatively inexperienced board, so just trying to make sure really understand their things, and but I will say I'm a huge advocate. I think this is crucial, and Mrs. Voss and others did an amazing job bringing these resources to bear. So I want to make sure we squeeze every ounce of it that we can.
And can I say, I don't know budget stuff, but what would probably have to happen is that we would have to combine pre-K and kindergarten together based on our numbers. We just don't have numbers to support a full teacher. But with that, the grant can pay for a para to come in and help support. So really, I don't know if we're squeezing money out of the general fund to support it.
So there was 4 kids for pre-K?
Potentially 4.
Potentially 4, and then how many are in kindergarten?
The kindergarten, incoming kindergarten,
7?
7, yeah.
So we're looking at 11.
We don't have a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, we do. We do.
Don't you look at me.
Technically, we did last year.
Okay, so that's 11 under 1 teacher and a para.
Can you quickly explain what the kindergarten model was this past year for all of us?
So kindergarten was supposed to be part-time, and essentially, I think it ended up being 3/4. I took the kinders from 8:30 to 1:45, and then after that, they went to 1st grade. They went to specials with the 1st graders, and did the last 45 minutes of the day with 1st grade. So we did.
And that's what we plan on doing again this year?
Why don't we just get a kindergarten teacher?
We're trying.
We have posted the position and have received no viable applications.
When did you post it?
It was posted
June 13th.
June
Is it
13th.
on our website?
Is it on the web, no, we post everything through OPI.
So you don't put those on our website? Cause I was, okay, so it's all on OPI.
Is that open until filled? Is it still an active posting?
I believe so, yeah.
Has it been put in the newspaper?
I don't think it's been for the newspaper.
And we have confidence that if we don't find somebody, we're gonna be able to shuffle staff and make all this work.
We're gonna have to have a conversation, I think, with our elementary staff about staffing. Those were some of the things I had hoped to have happen before Mr. Whitesell left, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Can we post it on our website, and could we add it to the ledger? Are
It's
those
important we
possibilities
try
that
to
we
get a
could do?
kindergarten teacher.
Yeah, there could be one floating anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I'll get it posted on the website.
Can I see that? Let's see that on with the board policy.
They're right here.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think this is one.
This is the new one, that's the old one that has all of that has been cut out of it. But this would be the new one that we had
Yeah,
approved.
it's still not done. See, all of these need to be filled in.
Well,
so it makes
because we have
sense.
to,
That's what I was talking about, is this stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, no way can make that decision until it's brought to us.
I mean, I'm comfortable, I think at this point, and given our situation, we have to have faith that we've got great people that we're gonna figure out how to make it work. I think we need to approve this program.
I have a question. The policies where it states where right now it's half or full-time, can we, leave that open? Can it say that, or do we need to choose one or the other, just to say like next year, we don't have 10 4-year-olds?
I think we need to choose.
It specifies to identify one.
Okay,
Yeah, this
Thank you.
is our board policy that we're deciding what it should read. But I don't know who, I'm so confused on who conversation happened with, but
this is from Kellowa.
I think it can be written with flexibility that, I'm assuming assumptions are met, there's gotta be kids enrolled, right, to have the program. Assuming assumptions are met, pre-K that's a program that the board wants to have. In terms of home-based and summer school, I think we should have language in there that those are options in the future, that it doesn't preclude them, but I think right now the important part is
So
the
that
pre-K.
we're doing the half-day pre-K program.
Right.
I think it's important we get K before we worry about pre-K two figured out.
Well, we have K.
But it's part of the
It's,
grant,
yeah.
it's the pre-K.
Oh,
So, the motion was seconded, what are we doing? Are we deciding what we want the policy to say specifically right now, or are we?
Well,
doing-
specifically, the new policy, the only thing up for, that is not in the law that came down is that we, in the policy, to clarify, we need to identify one of either we're doing a halftime or a full-time.
Okay,
And
so
then,
And we're
right,
asking for a half.
you're asking for halftime.
and right here is, if you read that, it just tells you, we just need to put that, if we go with halftime, we just put that wording in there. And then this will be what the legislators pass, and this will meet the wordage for that.
Okay,
So,
That's the only two options we have that the board needs to choose on there.
okay.
so in the immediate future, the pre-K is the only thing on our radar. We're not currently planning to look at in-home or summer school.
No.
Is that accurate?
I would like to move forward with a summer school program for K2, but that's gonna be contingent on if staff's available for that.
Yeah, what I'm wondering is if in this version, we only call out the pre-K, and then we could choose to amend the board policy at such a time that we wanna pursue summer school or at home. Does that seem like a good plan to people? So cause that's the other thing that we have to identify is which of the three, so I would suggest halftime, only the first one.
I gotta make notes, I get this back so she can do it. So
So that way we could approve the program and the policy in one motion, I think, if folks like that idea.
Okay, halftime, and then,
Cass, did you make that motion? For pre-K?
Halftime, and only this, so we would not do these. We're not gonna,
Okay,
yeah.
so then
Policy.
Eric's the one that's amending.
great.
I'm saying that Eric's the one that made the motion, so
yes,
I did.
he's the one that's doing the wording.
Oh, so can I amend the motion?
Yes, you can.
and then I'll just hand this to Miss Tammy, and then that way she can have it.
Tammy, you ready for an amended motion?
Sure.
Okay. Motion that we approve a pre-K program and modify board policy to reflect only the pre-K intervention at halftime at this time.
I second.
Okay, public discussion.
I was just gonna ask, in the past, haven't you guys done a pre-K with the K and Mrs. Shaw was the teacher?
Yes, ma'am.
In my, okay, because I've had conversations with her, have you guys had conversations with her on how that went?
I was a parent during that time with Miss Shaw, Maddie and Jacob both did the class that way.
Okay. It's just, there's a lot, in just 6 months when kids are growing and developing. And when I talked to her, you know, there was expression of, like, there were some issues with that difference. So that would be my only concern.
There were
Mixing
also
the two.
20 children.
Huh?
There were also 20 children. in
Oh, was there?
classes combined.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a huge class.
my youngest daughter was in a pre-K, and I would say for her, it's just one person, it really benefited her. I think
Thank you.
as a board, that's gonna be a challenging thing. I think everyone would agree that ideally there is one teacher per grade level, and I hope that's the reality we get to live in, but with funding, that's probably gonna be, I mean, as small schools go, that's what tends to happen, is blend in classrooms when you have to, and my goal is to not have to do that, but It may be something we face, it may be even now.
So my experience is that 4-year-olds will rise to the occasion. Looking at our data too, at kindergartners coming in the past couple of years, testing those kindergartners who have done pre-K, their data is lower than what the kiddos who were already combined into the kindergarten classroom. That shows that. But every class can be different. Another thing is, I guess I would say we wouldn't start until after Labor Day for pre-K. So the start date would be different, and they would only have to show up like, I think 3 days out of the week. So it does give a little bit of alone time with just kindergartners.
And they'd end probably earlier, I assume, right?
And sorry, I know I've asked you this once, but do you see a detriment to the K in that instance?
I think as long as they're alone to get their core, they're reading and math. And then I think the afternoon they have a special art, music, PE. Then it's kind of more learning through play, more hands-on activities that 4-year-olds would mesh really well with.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussions? Okay, Miss Amy, can you do a voice or roll call vote, please? Or we can do a hand, that's easier.
Show of hands.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I
motion
like the
carries.
thunder.
Okay, moving on to 5, item C, consider approval of school year 25-26 Montana High School Association membership. The administration has provided us with the MHSA agreement so our district can complete this extracurricular activities during the school year 25-26. We need to agree to the recommendation to allow our students to participate in 12 events and pay the appropriate fees.
I make a motion to consider approval of Montana High School Association membership.
Can I get a second? Second. Public discussion? For discussion, Mr. Ramsey or Mr. Havens, whichever one you guys wanna.
Well, this is just something that is every year, and it covers, participation and then insurance too. So, I mean, and this is just one of those things that's every year.
So that's what I was trying to understand, the contract speaks to the concussion and major catastrophic,
Yeah.
but what are the other benefits associated with MHSBA membership?
That you can participate in sports and other activities, speech and music and all the other.
Whatever is chosen.
Yeah.
It's just a, yeah,
So right now we have 5 boys, 5 girls, 2 combination with 12 totaling with a cost of $3,000. Correct?
sorry, I just gotta ask, MHSA is a governmental organization through the state of Montana?
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
For high school.
Cause otherwise it would be an illegal monopoly that we have to
Correct.
pay to participate. Okay.
Is there interest in all 12 things?
Yep.
Any
Uh,
further- you guys want-
I thought we were doing handout.
Oh, no.
One-
Any further, okay. go
One
for it.
quick point, it does say in there that the board should have a copy and review the MHSA handbook, so I would request that we get a copy of that at some point.
127 pages. Page 54.
I don't need a copy, I'll just call you and ask.
Yep. I can tell you which pages most of them are on. Once phone calls.
No, I would be nice to have. Electronic
Yeah,
copy
there's a
would-
link on MHSA.com for the whole thing.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's what I go to. I don't go to the printed out version because it's easier to look up. Because they have the topic search and
Yeah, if you have the PDF handy, if you just send it out, otherwise I'll find it and send it out. Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion from the board? Ms. Tammy, we're gonna do a show of hands. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Motion carries, thank you.
Thank you. Item 5D, consider approval of the audit contract, Storm and Association. Guidance, guidance from school policy 7430 in part directs the district audit can be conducted in accordance with Montana law. Each audit shall be a comprehensive audit of the affairs of the district and the district's funds. The audit shall comply with all statutory provisions and generally accepted governmental audit standards. Tonight, we have the contract from them asking us to hire them to do our annual audit for the next 3 years. After our district clerk's background information, we can determine the action of this recommendation.
I make a motion to consider the consulting of Strong and Associates.
Second.
Public discussion? Okay, Ms. Tammy, can you give us background, please?
Okay, so we have been using Strum and Associate, I believe, for 6 years now. It is a very thorough audit of every receipt, every expenditure, every revenue account. Generally takes 2 days in-house here for them to go through everything, as well as we start sending them information a couple of months in advance. They look at every board minutes, all the agendas, like I said, every receipt. It is a very thorough audit. There are only a couple of companies that are even taking on schools now. I have checked with other schools to see what prices are from other auditing firms, and everybody else is running about $26,000. So this is $20,000 a year for the service, which meets the MD&A standards. They have provided and they as an auditing group for schools get audited themselves, and they have provided that information with the results of their audit to the auditors.
Any questions? Okay, just for information for you guys, I looked it up today. On average, the small districts may pay up to $40,000 to $60,000 for the fees, where we're paying $20,000 for them. Because I was curious of what the average price was
Do we-
out there.
Have we always done it in 3-year contracts?
I believe it has been.
Yes,
She's shaking
We
her head,
always do
sorry,
it for
Tyra.
3 years at a
I
time?
believe so.
So
And then it's a good idea to get it locked in, because very few firms will even take on new clients. And them being one, they are no longer taking on new clients. We lose our spot, we might be in trouble.
So you have looked into other options this year and still determined?
Yes, and made contact with other clerks in the area and statewide, and
Do we get a discount for a 3-year contract, or why are we not
Yeah.
doing an
that
annual
is why
contract?
it is the $20,000 versus the 25 or 26, I believe.
Yeah, I like that, but there should be a reason we do a 3-year contract instead of an annual, which, so. Thanks, you answered all my questions with your,
Like I said, they are very thorough. The audit this past year, we did just receive our audit report. We passed. There were a couple of findings. There was some TFS reporting was not quite right. We had not receive the funds for the kitchen grant. That was for the milk cooler. And I didn't catch that we had not yet received those funds until after the end of the year. Last summer was kind of dicey anyway during that time, but we got through it. But they are even looking back to, there's some things back in 2004 that I am cleaning up.
Do we get
They
a,
looked back that far.
do we get access to these reports?
Yes, and it has been sent over to the ledger. There is a notice in the ledger that it is completed and available. And so with audits, when you get them, then you also send a copy to your local newspaper that they keep on file. So anybody in the county, anybody anywhere can go in and look at that. It is a public record.
When do we get our copy?
Generally, you don't get a full copy, but if you want one, I will provide one.
Okay.
A lot of copies, a lot of paper, but I will absolutely provide it. Or I can give you an electronic copy.
I'd like one.
Electronic or paper.
Whatever's easiest on you. Yeah. I like paper, but electronic's
Okay,
probably
then
easier.
paper it will be.
Any further
I'm always
questions?
looking at copying costs and the cost of paper.
You can send it in email. How many pages?
65.
65.
Okay, can I have a show of hands to approve the contract? Thank you, Ms. Amy. Item E, consider approval of coaches for fall sports.
Make a motion to consider approval of coaches for fall sports.
Can I get a second?
Did anyone second it?
I do.
You did? Okay, thank you.
Public discussion?
Coaches are hard to find. Still looking for assistant volleyball, high school. So somebody you guys know somebody, let me know.
Okay, and board discussion?
You
No.
don't have to tell me.
I have a question for you, Mr. Havens. How many kids do we have playing each sport to warrant a assistant coach?
In high school football,
Yeah, high school football, high school sports in particular.
usually, I mean, you have an assistant for everyone if there is one available. Whether it's in football, because there's all types of different things that happen with football. But that extra set of eyes at practices, break up your practice, you take your younger kids down, maybe your JV kids, go work with a different coach, but in the past, we've gone down to 8, 9.
And we didn't have an assistant when we had that low participation.
Yeah, it's a very, very slippery slope.
Is it
Just
because you
curious.
didn't want one or because you couldn't find one?
Huh?
Is it because you didn't want an assistant coach or because you couldn't find an assistant coach?
When I coached, I did it all myself, so it was easier in junior high.
Okay.
That's a lot different than high school because the high school is a different gamut altogether. Sometimes you can't find one.
Okay.
Right now, like I said, assistant volleyball, high school.
No
Tony's
experience
racking her brain.
required.
Hmm?
I said no experience required.
Well, and that's sometimes the best way is you learn on the job, and
How much does the assistant volleyball coach make?
I don't know, 2,100.
Gosh, you guys.
2,100 for 3 months.
Oh, okay. Just curious in case there's somebody in the audience that was thinking about. We need one.
Any further discussion? Okay, can we have a show of hands?
Thank you.
Can we group G and H together?
We're down on F.
Oh, well, after F.
Oh.
It's different.
Got it.
Yeah. Item F, negotiations with Knoxon Principal, Mr. Joel Ramsey.
I make a motion to go into negotiations.
Yeah, open
With-
negotiations.
Knoxon Principal Joel Ramsey.
I second the motion. Technically, should we table this until we do our interviews, or no?
Well, the problem is we don't have an elementary principal.
Oh, no,
So, I'm looking to add K-12 principal to my job description. I think that regardless of what happens
Okay,
with the
yeah.
superintendent, we need to have a K-12 principal. So
I
picking
agree.
up those duties.
Okay, so, before I get to public discussion, I want you guys to know what we're publicly discussing. So Mr. Ramsey, will you open negotiation, tell us what you are interested into negotiating with us,
Oh,
please?
sorry.
No, you're
I'm
good.
interested in negotiating my principal contract to explicitly state that I'm K-12 principal.
Okay.
As far as salary goes, I'm looking for less than 2% to go from 45,000 to 50.
Yeah.
Even with the increase in workload, I think that is comparative to other schools in our area and our size.
So would this would this be a 0.5 FTE principal?
I'm currently contracted under 0.5 principal, yes. Currently 0.5712 principal. I'm looking at this part of the negotiation as 0.5 K-12.
Yeah, retaining the 0.5 teacher for
Teacher,
the time being.
And for me to clarify, we just opened negotiation. He is going to tell us what he wants. We can either table and conduct, or we can counter, and he can set on his part. That is what negotiation is.
So all you have asked for is to, in your job title, be K-12 principal and a 2% increase in pay.
It's less than 2%.
Less than 2%.
45 to
$5,000.
50.
But that's all of your negotiations.
Yep.
Okay.
Nothing else?
I make a motion to approve Joel's negotiations.
I second.
Now, hold up. Before we do that, do we wanna counter with anything? Do we want to just accept?
No. We're new
That's-
board, so we need some guidance sometimes.
That's what I'm saying, is you guys can counter, you can go with lower, you can go with higher, you
Yeah.
can, I just want you guys to be aware of it,
That's-
cause this is a learning
I
process.
think that this is a great
Oh,
That's fine.
give them a free lunches too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Why
Fish
not?
free.
okay. Yeah, Jim, good idea.
I'm just giving you guys some examples.
No, I understand that part. I like what he is wanting to negotiate, and I
It's not
personally have no problem saying yes to
Yeah,
this.
me too, but I like Jim's idea there with the free
Free
lunch.
lunch.
Well, so I got some questions, I guess.
Now we're getting into
Sorry.
it.
So we are in the process of trying to fill superintendent. That has a strong possibility of changing your role.
Yeah.
Well, but even if it doesn't, there would be potential value in working with the new superintendent to come up with the new model, if it went the other way. But I can also, I'm sure that especially understand you should have certainty and you should have, those types of things. What other values do you see of doing this now as opposed to tabling it until like the
So
next
some
regular meeting?
decisions need to get made with our K-12 staff and who's gonna be teaching what. I gotta start having conversations with them, and I just don't want
So do it
anybody
now.
to I don't want any union issue to come up where they're like, well, you're not even our principal. You can't, so, I just wanted something clear and some clarity for our staff so that those decisions can be made.
That's a really good point.
Mhm.
thank you.
So I'm taking notes, so you are asking to become K through 12 principal and make $55,000.
50, 45,
Yeah.
250.
About
And then you're
2%,
gonna add
he
free
said.
lunch in there.
I didn't
Well,
add nothing, I'm
yeah,
asking
That
exactly what
wasn't the
you.
motion.
Oh, no, I guess it wasn't.
Okay, so from 45 to 50,000, okay, thank you.
I think that.
We have a motion and a second on the table, so we can
Okay.
vote on that. I just wanted to give you guys, the, what for
Thank you.
negotiations.
And so we would be offering a contract. So that's just so everyone understands, I think that's the scenario then. If we do this, and obviously if Joel became the superintendent, then obviously he would be happy to negotiate a new contract. If it was the opposite, I think we'd then be in a situation where the incoming superintendent, we would be telling them, no, this is already contracted for this year.
Correct.
This is the model.
Okay.
Which I'm comfortable
That's
with, I'm just trying to make sure that that I understand what's, the implications of this. Does that sound accurate? Anybody see anything different?
Oh, I like that we would know exactly what we're, and what somebody else is coming into, so. Like the if we got an interim or whatever, we'd already have everything that kinda limits us what we're doing.
I guess our current candidate wants part-time. I think that's where it could hamstring us,
Yeah,
is if
I
we
think we're good there.
needed another 0.5 out of the but, sorry, I'll be quiet, I'm good.
Okay, Miss Tammy, can we get a voice roll call vote?
Trustee Bosker,
Yes.
trustee Byler,
Yes.
trustee Hill,
Aye.
trustee Manning,
Aye.
board chair Miskowitz,
Aye.
vice chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey.
Abstain.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Okay, moving on to G, consider approval of elementary out of district enrollment.
I make a motion to consider out of district open enrollment.
Can I get a second? Public discussion? Board discussion? Okay, Miss Tammy, can I get a,
Show of hands.
yes ma'am, thank you.
Show of hands to accept the out-of-district agreements.
Yes ma'am, with Trout Creek abstaining.
Thank you.
Consider approval of high school out of district enrollment.
I make a motion to consider out of district high school enrollment.
I second the motion.
Public discussion? Board discussion? Miss Tammy, can I get a hand roll?
A show of hands.
Thank you.
For approval. Thank you.
Oh, high school, I can't. It's the other way,
You stayed out of,
elementary, I
yeah, you
can't.
stayed out of
That was it.
elementary.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
elementary was the last one, I sustained out of that one.
Gotcha.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, so now we're moving on to reports. These are information only, in these. And I guess I'm first on the chopping block. Did everybody receive their email from Kelowna Law with the policy revisions?
Yeah, the
Okay.
legal ones that have to change.
Oh, no, some of them are legal and some of them are not.
Oh.
At the very end of the email, there is a
Okay.
statement that Kelowna give us. It's the last three on the policies. In there, she breaks it down, which policies are required and why they're required, and she breaks it down individually. So if you guys would take the time between now and the next regular scheduled board meeting, because there is options in there. There are some that the policy is options, there are some that the language is we can change, but some of them are required.
Yeah.
So it's just for information for you guys. This is how we get our policy book up to legal speed.
But question everything too, because the law happens, and this is Kelowna bringing that law into our policy where it identifying it, but that doesn't mean that everything that written under there is gospel Montana law. So if there's something that people don't like, we should discuss it and then run it by Kelva from a legal perspective.
But she does break it down for you guys
Yeah.
so that you understand why everything is changing and all of that. So
So there's one that says clean and one that says
revised.
revised.
She's just telling you exactly what language was taken out, and the ones that we didn't have in our policy book that don't have clean or revised, those are brand new ones.
So if we look at the clean ones, that's the proposed changes. It doesn't show what
Correct.
was removed or
Nope.
added.
If you looked at the revised one, it tells you exactly what language she took out.
But if we look at the clean one, I think she has highlighted in yellow the things that we actually, it's not just that we approve
Yeah,
it,
well,
but we have
because
to
some of them,
actually
it says like
decide.
43, and it says this policy is option. It tells you exactly what it addresses, what House bill it reflected.
Yep. No, it's an awesome summary.
Okay, so if you guys can do that for me, moving on for B, strategic plan community update from Mr.
Do
Ramsey.
you wanna do Matt's first and then I'll just group all mine together?
Absolutely, Mr. Havens.
Mr. Havens, August 13th is parent night, meeting night, 6 o'clock. First practice for high school volleyball and football is on the 15th of August. This year, MHSA, in all their wisdom, have started, they got a new thing. 8th graders can participate in junior high and high school concurrently. So they can go from junior high practice right at 3:30 to 5:30, and then high school practice from 5:30 to 7.
Now, is there requirements in there for too many hours that they
No,
would be practicing?
no, there is no. They just opened it all up and said you can do it.
You don't have to do both.
You don't have to do both. So, yeah, I mean, then they'll have to be. That's crazy. I mean, well, and I mean, you got 8th graders. Yeah, it's. I mean, you would be better. This is my personal feeling. You would be better as an 8th grader to go play your 8th grade season, and then go play volleyball, or go play high school volleyball. Going to do 2. Wow. I mean, so somewhere they got pushed, and so that's a new rule they have this year, and it's wide open, which is crazy. So, I mean, yeah, it's just crazy, and I don't know. That's just gonna hurt a kid, I think, in the long run. But we can't tell them no, they can't do it. We have to have it open. So if they want to try, then they can go do it. That's the biggest thing coming up. Scheduling, I'll have all the schedules put together in the next few weeks. First activity is August 29th. It's a home football game, 7 o'clock. We do have a new computer waiting to be installed out in the Crow's Nest, so the NFHS camera will work this year. They leave the computer outside in 110 heat and 35 below zero. You don't do anything with it. You just, and then it fried. But that's completely covered by NFHS. I know when the schoolhouse people, they're going to set it up, and they've done it before. So, but exciting time coming up. You know, the beginning of the year and games, volleyball, crazy. Yeah. If you ever need schedules, let me know. Email me.
Thank you.
That's the best way. I've had people try to text me this summer and it doesn't always work. But email works best, and if you need something, call me at home. I'm available.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you want to learn how to paint football field, 13th, 2
Do you have
o'clock.
to be good at drawing straight lines?
No, I'm horrible at drawing straight lines. Even when you have it chalked all the way across, I might go like this.
Did you guys get all the football helmets analyzed after last season, or is that something that happens in real time?
That happens all the. We usually take half one year and then the other half the next year. So we rotate them, and they kick them out if they're so old, like 10 years old. They just automatically they don't send them back.
Oh, I thought somehow the helmet could monitor the force of impact or something.
Oh yeah, the high school got some of those helmets, that the spendy ones, yeah.
Okay.
And they can track all that and everything, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now we're gonna open the floor up to Mr. Ramsey for strategic planning and principal.
Alright, so, strategic planning committee, we, met earlier, it was last month, was the last time we met. We're nearly done with our, analysis of data and getting ready to move on to the next phase, which would be, exploring vision and mission and goals. Tied in with that, I've kind of developed a little 5-year plan. This is my little 5-year plan. This is something that's been kicking around in my head since, probably November, December, something like that. And it's based on kind of this little motto that I put together. And probably some of you have heard me say it before, everybody has a voice. I believe that everybody has the inherent need to be seen, heard, and understood. And so this plan encompasses that in each of benchmarks of 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years and beyond. And of course, I want to get more staff input into this. So this is a draft. I want to bring it through the strategic plan committee and get it refined. But it's basically things that I want to institute moving forward. In the first year, I want to launch, at least at the beginning, monthly community voice forums to invite community to come in and just sit and talk about whatever things they have on their minds, whatever concerns, questions, that sort of thing. And that can tailor off to quarterly, depending on involvement with it. To start like a Voices of Our School quarterly newsletters, share student stories and staff stories, achievements, district updates. With staff to build improved staff culture and trust, I want to conduct one-on-one listening sessions early in the year. This is where informal conversations where staff comes in, sits down and talks with me about their concerns, questions they have, and can even get into what visions they have for their professional development and that sort of thing, and how I can help with that. And again, a more open-ended staff voice forum, which would be not a one-on-one, it's like the community voice. Some people want to have one-on-one conversations, they like that. And my communication policy is really an open door policy. Like, if anybody has questions, that's from board to parents to teachers to students. Encourage all staff and community members to reach out with questions or concerns. I really want to clean up our website. It's kind of a mess. So I really want to get into that.
Can I ask a question, Joel?
Yeah.
So this is your 5-year plan? as
This is
principal,
like
essentially?
my 5-year plan. I'd like to present it to the strategic plan committee and to the staff. And these are, some of the things that I'd like to have happen over the next 5 years and beyond. Wanting to build a community. I want to build a school that is a true community hub, where people come in, where we're outreach to a variety of constituencies that live around here, from the students who are enrolled here to students who are homeschooled. I believe that we have to expand what we offer so that students, whether they're enrolled here full-time, part-time, or fully homeschooled, that they have an opportunity to learn. So that's kind of the overall vision that I've got for us moving forward. And you kind of look at this is just in my brain, in my head, these are kind of the goals that I'm searching for. But the most important part to me on this is that motto, everyone has a voice. That's the direction I operate. That's how I do my job. Everyone has a voice. Everybody has an opportunity to speak and be heard and be understood. If parents, community, staff have some sort of issues, they're angry about something, I want to invite them in to have a conversation. And hopefully that conversation is perceived from a place of openness and transparency. So, I hadn't really talked to you guys much about that, but that's just kind of me articulating who I am and who I want, and what the direction I want to see the school go.
I like it.
I already drew hearts on it.
Yeah.
I would have saved that for the superintendent.
That was my pride.
Well, and I think a lot of this will be a great thing to lead discussion in the strategic planning committee.
Right.
Yeah.
And as you know, this year it's a centennial celebration. It's been 100 years since we started giving out diplomas. So this right here, I'm gonna turn into a big old banner and hang it on front of the school all year long. Right there. And then this is just some ideas on a celebration plan and type of events and things that we might have. So I want to put together a committee to put all this together. I don't want to do it all myself, but I'd love to get some board members involved with it, some parents, teachers. The main thrust of this is to get stories of people who graduated. People who've gone on to lead notable lives. They don't have to be famous. They could just have somebody who's made a difference in their community. Actually, I just learned this week that our English teacher's sister's husband's uncle graduated here in 1951.
That's cool.
So his picture, I took a picture of it today to send that. But I want to see
I
some.
knew someone that was part of that first graduating class.
No, sir.
In 1926,
Yeah.
Ina May
Gaston?
King.
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 Ina May King, who
married
became a Mercer.
Cyril Mercer.
That's right.
Yeah. And there was a second person,
Effie Meadows.
Effie
Effie Meadows.
Meadows,
What year was that?
1926.
I like that sense.
So 100 years ago.
Well, it's awesome. It should be celebrated.
Yeah. And so I want to put together, a committee of people to go out and gather those stories and artifacts. I'm kind of looking at, the graduation ceremony is, we're telling some of those stories. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I think it's big enough that somebody important comes.
Well, if you need any help with the stories, I'd love to help.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, please take them.
So,
I mentioned it over at the hardware store, and then went in a few days later and he had a whole list of names for me.
yeah, and what
You're
about
gonna
if we
get tons
just
of
ask people to email you? Can we just give them an email if they have a
Please
story?
email, yeah. I put out a Facebook post at the end
Yeah.
of the school year, but probably redo that. But that is my report.
Can I make a motion to adjourn?
Absolutely. And that's at 9 o'clock on the dot, Miss Tammy.
Huh?